led ADC. So that is to say that the David Mark led ADC or the ADC way, BC Peter Obi, Amechi, Atiku, and the rest of them, they involved in no longer they recognized by INEC. And a lot of people don't they talk say what's happen, what's be all this problem. So if you like say every political party we're supposed to get formidable opponents, get one problem or the other. And they can't look like say the only party when we get problem now the one way be say will likely fit endorse President Bola Ahmed Tinubu second term bid. And this one don't cause a lot of trouble. But now that not be even all because as I talk to you now, INEC also don't make sure say they don't bring another exercise that they call revalidation exercise. Make I not bite my tongue while they talk about. So where people will come revalidate their card, their member, their INEC, this thing. And people go to talk, say, excuse me. This is another way to disenfranchise people so that people will not get time to revalidate themselves. You can't tell them, say, oh, and I know they're qualified to vote. That one, another problem entirely. So all of this wahala more. Not forgetting, say, attack happened today again for Jos, Plateau State, as I talk to you. Most people, them students, them for inside University of Jos, they don't even see the exam. Tell them, say, you know what, maybe they safe first of all for now because the campus and all of that, they tensed up because of the attack we happened there. People they even talk, say, some sort of religious crisis, freedom break out for inside Plateau State. Well, all of this matter and more now ABC will carry come your domot today for inside updates with Precious. And it always sweet my belly to bring on an update of all the things really happen for inside our country. Oh yeah, make I just go back small break and they come back to bring on the headlines of all the matter them. And I get two obonge guests for inside the house today. We will touch light the matter them one by full. But before I let you know who the people they be, make I just go take small break and they come back. Stay with us. Good evening, Nigerians. Welcome to Updated Precious. As usual, I always see today, see my belly to bring on an update of all the things that happen for Nigeria. But what's in the update if I don't give on the real update? When I mean the real update, that doesn't matter them as they share up inside their papers them today. So make I first of all visit one of our newspapers in Vanguard, make I see the matter them where they carry for the months. I will do them sharp, just give on a headline. Plateau killings. Governor Mutfwang meets Tinubu at Asorok. After the meeting, waiting will be next. That the question will be see people they ask. Lagos welcomes 16-year-old autistic cyclist on endurance ride. United Nigeria Airlines suspends staff member over treatment of amputee passenger. And Easter FG declares Friday, Monday public holidays. Hey, the big story I say INEC strikes out David Mark Aregbeshola's names. Won't monitor convention congress. They say this convention where ADC won't do, they no go monitor them. So that means there is no ADC party right now. There is no ADC. So anything where they spend money on for registration or this one or that, make on a day there, no go act. Make on a no whole INEC for neck for accountability. Make on a no whole government where they common hand for opposition parties. You see what they happen? So as it stands now, ADC is null and void. No more party like ADC again right now because INEC need to recognize them again. Well, make we go to other matter. Them Jerry Plateau speaker urges restraints. Comment Mutfwang's response to killings. Shetima, well, make I leave all those matter go to ADC may not be able to field INEC recognizable presidential candidates. Now, waiting for me for Nika did talk. Say ADC feel no get the ability to field presidential candidates where INEC recognize. Is this the reason why? Hey, gosh, I'm coming. Let's just go to other issues very quickly. Make a visit other papers then quickly. Surulere stakeholders shut down Desmond Elliott's fourth term bid for 2027. Say you won't go 4 times. No. Ayaga, come back. You need to go anywhere. Stay for a year. I don't tell you before. Say INEC don't withdraw recognition of David Mark led ADC over court judgment. And do not allow yourself to be used as catalyst for political crisis in Nigeria. Nigeria has done the one INEC chairman. Amopitan, over the one when they call voter revalidation exercise. And then we could go to other matter than ways to the shell today very, very quickly before I bring my guests and come into the house. 2027, I will not tolerate any form of criminality as president. P2B slams fuel subsidy as organized crime. It's a fuel subsidy, now organized crime. Say him no go fit tolerate that criminality, organized crime. when he be president. Meanwhile, this development raises serious concerns and must be rejected outright as recipe for chaos. Bolaji Abdullahi will be the top person for ADC. Now, on the slam INEC as they react to the INEC voter revalidation memo. Meanwhile, abducted NYC member wey BC then beat, almost killed, matching chest everywhere. Abba Musa, he don't regain freedom after months for terrorist captivity. Thank God, say he day alive, and a good news to hear say he day alive. Now, P2B is only person in coalition who can dare Tinubu and go to bed with his two eyes closed. That's so Nigerians in the talk. And one Sadiq Maunde, now they tell ADC, made them feel them for 2027. The ADC now won't feel them. You know, Conde again, hell. You are Nigeria's greatest enemy. Nigerians on social media blast and call out Amopitan, INEC, over alleged plot to disenfranchise voters through revalidation ahead of 2027. Insecurity worsens as terrorists abduct 8 charcoal burners in fresh Plateau attack. For inside Plateau State, 8 charcoal burners, they don't grab them, carry them go. 2027 P2B holds strongest position as opposition figure with solid vote backing to challenge Bola Tinubu. Somebody now they talk that one. Where you gonna know the person will be talking? Tinubu is a protected asset. Now, so then talk. Tinubu is a protected asset. His drug case provides leverage for US to exploit Nigeria. Hey, my canal delay. Why are you talking like this? On my canal, then they talk this one. He said that the reason we make Washington never still release Tinubu narcotic records. Say then they keep them because now that record they like an asset to them. They go fit use the record to use ping pong to press them to do anything we be say they want. That now what's my canal and I'll stop. Not be me talk. US, other foreign intelligence presence fearing killing in Nigeria. Sheikh Gumi. They say US so and other people within Nigeria, so and then they make killing, they continue for Nigeria. Are you serious? Before they come, waiting be they happen. Now petting will be they happy. Nobody did die. Hey, or your problem is that the internet, the world man know more about the killing. Well, I don't know. I might guess they go talk about them. Nigeria government knows where terrorists are. They can wipe them out if they wanted, but instead they protected and called them brothers and sons. My kind of now they took this one for inside News Central Television. Tinubu moves Asarok off national grid, leaves Nigerians to battle nationwide blackouts. Nigerian citizens lament epileptic power supply. E.g., for example, I am suffering it right now. Amopitan Senate continues approving billions while thousands of Akpabio-led Senate continues approving billions while thousands of Nigerians are being killed. Nigerian social media users blast Tinubu's loan approval. You know, $6 billion now approved in less than 3 hours, thereabouts. Sharp, with the speed of light, the approval. The president never even sent the consent. They don't send up sharp. What's going on here? Tinubu government clueless, incompetent in managing Nigeria's mineral resources. Former US ambassador, now they talk down. He said, the former US ambassador, say our president is incompetent. How dare you? How dare you say that about our president? Well, government of hardship. Tinubu administration increases price of gas. Again, sorry. Okay. I mean, if you buy gas recently, so you can understand. Now, when it's time to fix electricity insecurity or conduct sensors, committees are set up. But borrowing is instant. But when they won't do the one way BC go benefit the people, committees, now they go set up. In fact, Kambo Ajana, they slam Akpabio Senate and other people because of this one. With the speed of light, so they use approved money. Renewed violence in Plateau State as several residents reportedly get killed, others injured. We have identified Nigerian officials enabling persecution of Christians, and they will be sanctioned in due time. US lawmaker Ted Cruz, now they talk this one. And then Bishop David Oyedepo said, I want Nigerians against voting bloodthirsty Tinubu government into power. Sorry. I mean, that's what they put up a headline for me. It's not me right now. Say they want Nigeria over voting the bloodthirsty people with the power, and then I'll go vote them. They don't see the problem. Iran threatens to target Apple, Google, the US tech firms in Middle East amid escalating war. Revealed, Tinubu government compensated Gombe with 1.2 billion naira to use for use of facility to rehabilitate repentant Boko Haram people who, by the way, are your brothers and are like prodigal sons. They can be brought back. You understand? Under Tinubu, Nigeria debt set to hit 155 trillion naira following approval of fresh $6 billion loan. It shock you? Nothing should shock you. This is Nigeria. Okay, Nigerians raise alarm over alleged INEC plan to rig 2027 elections for Tinubu, other APC candidates amid nationwide voter revalidation exercise. That Nigerians on the cry say this one na layo, na kruko, na GPTO, na wayo, na they want to use rig election videos. But we just look within other papers and carry for body sharply. Court remands B Lord in Kuje prison. That's a two brothers fighting. They'll be all right. U.S. missionary Alex Berber has been ordered to leave Nigeria. Bashir Ahmed. I'm yet to get to Alex. I tried to reach him, but I couldn't get his reaction. But why would he be ordered to leave? What's in the talk with the happen for Nigeria and a lie? Why is they okay for us to act quick? Say person they seek for justice or they ask me Nigerians when they die, but the ones where they keep quiet when Nigerians they die, we need to ask them to talk. We need to ask, even the ones where they encourage and they empathetic to the people where they kill Nigerians. We don't question them. We don't do anything about them. Is this fair? Well, that's a question when Nigerians they ask them the way they ask them. Okay, and then 2027, Labaran Marco joins SDP after leaving PDP. 2027 article visits Kwanko. So some other stories the way BC we get. Make I check more stories we BC will get right here because matter them plenty for inside the news. I'm not going to just visit other papers. B2B cites Jesus Christ Association with tax collectors, prostitutes to defend hobnobbing with corruption politicians. Now, so this paper carrier. All right. Court remands businessman. Okay, I don't take this one. IG orders urgent submission of bank details, nominal role of all Nigerian police officers. Okay, and then IGP deploys DIG operations tactical teams to Plateau following deadly Jos attacks. And Tinubu postpones Ogun visit, heads to Jos after deadly Plateau attacks. Good one, President. In fact, you would have been there that Sunday. In fact, the Monday night is supposed to reach there. But good one, eh? IGP orders urgent submission of bank details. I think I don't tell you this one. RULAC demands IGP review of Nigeria's inspectors' dismissal. Some of those cases there. Benue School expel 11 students over viral video of female students stripped during fight. Mayfili violated Nigeria Central Bank Act in Naira redesign exercise. And so EFCC talk when they carry and book out. Well, all of this matters and more. They too plenty we get today. I just to make I give an update of some of the matter they're ready for news today. And thank you so much for joining me. So joining me for inside the studio. Now plenty people they will be saying them plenty to join me. First of all, I'll go bring in my colleague for inside the industry, Loknan Dumbin. Loknan ace broadcast journalist, where he be say from just Plateau State, and he did just right now. And in the very familiar about what they go on for just Plateau State. So I say make I bring a come on, make you follow us talk within the happen. Lokman, thank you so much for joining. LD, I will never get used to calling you Lokman. LD, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you here. Thank you so very much. All right. So also joining us in the studio now, somebody where you visit the United States of America, in Honorable Stephen Osanwegi. Him be the founder of the Save Nigeria Group USA, and the people we visit advocate for all the killings and the badments and impunity where they happen for inside Nigeria. He join me from all the way Obodo USA. Mr. Stephen, thank you so much for joining us. I don't want to say Osanwegi, so Mr. Stephen, thank you for joining us.
Welcome. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Precious. Happy to be here.
Thank you.
Not very happy as a Nigerian, but happy to see your face because now your face they give us joy when we look at what's happening around the country.
Joy, not even the face where they give you joy. That be the problem. I don't get joy, Steph. Not be the face. So how face you don't get joy go just give you joy?
It's well. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So LD, let me begin with you. Another series of attacks.
Yeah.
I mean, after the Guarukuba incidents we happened on Sunday. Today again we'll see uprising, another set of crisis again begin happen. We'll see say a church being attacked, and then students around I think the University of Jos being run helter skelter in panic, and then I saw a video with my two eyes of young men mobbing a particular and killing him in front of the road. And you know what shocked me most in that video? How cars were driving past and could not help. Because if everybody when they drive past come together, hold those guys, that guy would not have died. But everybody just did their business and they let that guy die. In fact, I did tempted to say make I even show the video, but let me take your thought before I take that video, because it's really heartbreaking to see some of the things where they happen for our country and how far we don't go or how deep neck we dig into the badness where they happen. We'll make I take your thoughts very quickly.
Okay, so I'm going to speak on the videos that I I saw on your channel earlier. Yeah, I'm sure that's what you're referring to, right?
Let me quickly play this, just to put a context to the now, this is the video. And you see some young men, these guys looks like they were running after it. You can see the one on red and white, the red trouser, they were running after it. See what's a particular view. And people say that they didn't see that's right. And next thing, yes, we drag him and we put him out and we tell him,
see you. They don't keep person, they don't keep person. They don't keep this man. They don't keep this man. What did he do? What did he do?
You can see vehicles, they park very busy road. Very busy road. They gather and they and the guy was still struggling to, struggling for his life, struggling to stand up and all that. They beat him down again. So they killed him.
Boy, can I go?
It's crazy. But let me take it.
Okay, so from the way it looked, that video, first of all, that place is called Katako Junction. It leads to an area known as Katako. Katako is a Hausa word for wood. It's where they have like a timber market. So that's why they call it Katako Junction, leading to Katako, which means wood. Now in that area, you have a Muslim area. And then if you go a bit further down, you find other areas, adjoining areas where there are a lot of Igbos. So it's a mix of, Jos is a city where there are people from all over Nigeria there. And in any in any neighborhood right next to it, you find all kinds of people. So, and then it's just across the road from the university. If you look to the right-hand side of the screen, you'll see across the road from that T-junction, that's the fence of the university. So basically, those were just miscreants, really, who took advantage of the chaotic situation and were pulling out. It looked like they dragged out that person from the tricycle.
Yes, they pulled him down. According to they pulled him down from the tricycle. A bicycle.
Yes. No. The question is, why did they randomly pick out this one particular person? Was it because he looked a certain way? Because there were lots of tricycles passing by and they didn't do anything. You know what I mean? So it's kind of sketchy, but given the situation, and some people have turned this thing into a religious clash, and basically it means they just picked someone who looked like, hey, that's one of them. It's us against them. And I gathered from a reliable source that as they were doing that, they were saying, yes, we've killed him, saying it in Hasamun Kashe. That means we have killed him. The problem is, like in most parts of Nigeria, there are a lot of miscreants with a lot of idle young people with nothing to do. And the minute there's a spark, it ignites and you have incidents like this. So let me go back to the incident at the Kokin Church in Nasarawa. Now, Nasarawa is a neighborhood not too far from Angwan Rukuba.
Okay,
and,
so it's like it's Nasarawa State, precisely.
No, it's not Nasarawa State. It's Nasarawa is a neighborhood in Jos.
Okay.
Yes, not Nasarawa State.
Can I play that video so that you can I play that video so that you can help us interpret what was said in Hausa language?
I've seen it, but you can play it for the sake of other people. Yeah, that's fine.
All right, thank you. Let's take a listen.
Kokin Church, Nasara. The church was attacked this morning. Gunshots, stones, and just name it. Check out the windows that Ayman, please, ka dan ba mu details me ya faru, please.
Ka dan tuba daga can already tun daga nan wurin nan mun fara. Muna tura mota ne ma nan wurin nan. Kawai mun fara jin Allahu Akbar. Daga can mun fita mun ga kama abin da wasa ne. Kamin mu ankara kawai shikenan harbi. Su riga sun fara wai su bara su iya shiga can ba, mu ma bara mu shiga cikin nan ba. Kawai su suka da kyar na escape na shiga nan wurin nan. ina shiga church na kulle gate abin nan an kara shi ne ka ga wannan destroying din nan da ka gani akai na gaba daya ga gate gate ya riga lankwashe gaba daya ko abin nan nazo na kama nawa daga nan muka fara jefi ne zuwa wurin Allah ne kawai da muke mu ya wani few mun fa ne kawai a cikin nan wurin nan in ba Allah ne taimaka mun rufe nan wurin nan ba ina ga da ya riga zama wani abu da gaba daya ne da church ne ya riga zama sun ga su shiga yanzu ga gate ya riga ya shi boye na riga wannan kamun mun kira an riga police nan wurin babun da sun yi babu ne gaba daya kawai anan wurin da tap
I hope you've heard from the source what's happened. May God help us. Enough is enough, people of God.
All right. So, what was the narration the young man was giving in Hausa language?
Okay, he was just talking about how a mob tried to gain entrance to the compound, and the places where they broke in and were trying to gain entrance, and how there were gunshots. And one other disturbing thing he mentioned is that there were police, because there's a police station near there. So apparently the police were watching and didn't do anything. Now, from what I gathered from my sources here, is that somebody was stabbed in that vicinity. And since that place is not too far from Angwan Rukuba, the youths from Angwan Rukuba mobilized themselves and went down there, and there was a confrontation. So that's what happened early today. That's basically what happened.
He said Allahu Akbar. I thought I heard something like that.
Yes, they had petrol bombs and they were shouting Allahu Akbar. There are also reports about that. And you know, the sad thing is these are young kids doing this. They're not even full-grown adults. It's quite unfortunate. So that's basically what happened.
All right. So can you run us through what played out on Sunday very quickly before I go to my guest?
On Sunday, so according to reports, some armed men arrived at Angwan Rukuba Junction. Now there's like a market in that area at the junction. You know, people selling all kinds of things, lots of shops, and it's like an intersection. It's actually a federal highway, but it hasn't been dualized yet. It's a federal highway that passes through Jos, the ring road, and then heads towards Bauchi. So it's a pretty busy spot. So armed men arrived there. Now there have been conflicting reports. Some people say they came on motorcycles. Some people say they came in a car, but they didn't come on foot, that's for sure. So they were mobile. So they alighted from the vehicle and opened fire on whoever was unfortunate enough to be around there. And there was also a very disturbing report where one of the youth leaders in the area gave an interview and said that when they heard gunshots, they thought it was NDLEA, because there's some seedy things that go on around there, where sometimes NDLEA has had to clamp down on people, drug dealers in the area, and sometimes they shoot in the air while they're doing that. So they thought it was the NDLEA, and on realizing that it wasn't NDLEA, they made moves to go after the people. And 2 military trucks stopped them. And according to the youth leader, they shot 4 of them. So basically what that story is summing up is that the military provided cover for the terrorists. They were holding off the neighborhood boys from confronting them while they were killing people behind. And as soon as they finished, they left and the terrorists left. That's what one of the youth leaders said. The army has made a statement denying it. So right now it's just, a whole lot of back and forth, one man's word against another's. Now, eyewitnesses also said that they heard them speaking in Hausa and in Fulfulde. So, one thing that Nigerians know how to do is we know how to identify people from different parts of the country, especially places that we're familiar with. You know what I mean, Precious? Like you're from River State.
He's an Igbo. Oh, he's from Akwa Ibom. We know how to do that.
Exactly. We know how to do that very well. So I saw somebody who made a video, a young lady made a video, and she was talking about peace. Now, here's another very disturbing thing about this whole thing. A lot of people are kind of closet supporters for terrorism. and there are more of them than you can ever imagine. You know, ordinary people like you and I that you wouldn't think have anything to do with terrorism, but somehow they tacitly support it.
Why do you think they do
And
so?
because the perpetrators come from their side of the divide. That's why. It's as simple as that. So I saw this beautiful young lady. Now she made a video and she was talking about how, you know, there needs to be peace for us and just to move on, you know, that kind of thing. A positive message. But then when I listened to the message, it dawned on me that at no point did she condemn the terrorist attacks. At no point did she do that. And one of the first things she said was that Christians, in her own words, she said, Christians have already decided that it's Muslims killing Christians. In other words, and then she said, where's the proof? What an insensitive thing to say. You're from River State, Precious, if you see someone from Akwa Ibom, won't you know, especially if they're speaking their language while doing it? And this is what...
As somebody who lives in just Plateau State, and as somebody
Yes.
who's familiar with what's going on in Nigeria, what do you think is the reason for these attacks? And who do you think is responsible? And why do you think they're doing what they're doing, really?
Okay, if I'm going to look at the bigger picture here, now there's something that people don't often talk about. I think this whole thing borders on a number of things, but it's mostly for political power. Now, how do you gain political power? Nigeria is purportedly a democracy, right? So you get political power through elections, right?
That's what they talk.
Now we all know that Nigerians vote with tribe and religion, correct?
That's what they talk.
Okay, so if you stand for elections in a place where the people are from your tribe and from your religion, what's going to happen?
Of course, you go get the majority of the votes for them.
Exactly. So if you look at it, a French diplomat said this thing years ago, and nobody's been talking about it. What they are doing is they are systematically trying to alter the demographics of the country to suit them so that they can take control even by democratic means and rule this country unchallenged. That is the bigger picture of what is happening.
No, help me repeat what you said again. So there is a systematic annihilation of Nigerians for political reasons and in order to gain power. Are you serious?
Yes. Forceful change of demographics. Now, let me explain. Okay. Now, the way Nigeria is structured, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whenever there's an election, you'll notice that anybody who wants to win this election in this country and rule this country, if you want to succeed in that, you have to collaborate with people from all over the country. No single tribe can do it on their own.
Absolutely.
And no single religion can do it on their own. Correct?
True that.
Because you have to get people from all areas to support you. That's part of the reason why Buhari was a perpetual loser until he formed an alliance.
I agree with you.
And that's also why before now, Bola Tinubu was at best a regional leader. That's the truth. Without these alliances. So basically what they're trying to do is bypass that and forcefully change. If you alter the demographics of the country, if you bring in your people and your people are in every state, then you can rule the country without having to negotiate with people from across the divide. What a brilliant plan, Precious. Aren't we geniuses, these people?
So leadership would have to be based on what subjected to what you want and how your dictation generally.
Exactly. Because then you can win elections without without negotiating with anyone because your people are everywhere. Now these places
But LD, how possible is it that this could be the ideology behind all of this? And
slowly, but listen, these people doing this thing,
all of our politicians in the South and other parts are unaware of this.
I've seen one of your other guests, Dr. Catch. I've seen him say this. These people are very, very patient. It might not happen in our lifetime. They're very patient. They're willing to wait. They will pass it on to their kids. I promise you. That's what's going on. We're just blind to it. That's the primary thing that's going on. You see all those villages that you hear they attack? They don't just attack and go away. They attack repeatedly,
Yes.
and they push the people in IDP camps. Who's living in their homes? People are living in their homes, and a lot of the time they're not Nigerians because they don't have that population, and those of them that are Nigerians already have homes. So the idea is to bring in people from neighboring countries and populate Nigeria and somehow alter the demographics of the country so that they can use it to push for political power. That's the long and short of it. That's the gods. That's what people don't want to say. That is what is happening.
Honorable Osai.
Because if you look at it, it's happening everywhere. It's not just Jos.
Yes. I mean, Kwara State is almost overrun. Some parts of Kwara State is overrun. There are communities in Kwara State right now that are deserted. People are not there. I played videos of it. People are running away from their communities. Kwara State is southwest, like it's a Yoruba land, and people are running away. There are communities in Yoruba State, Plateau State, several communities in Plateau State that have been overrun.
More than several.
Most of them have been overrun. Good enough.
Exactly.
Have been overrun. Same thing with Benue State. So that means it's costing down gradually.
Yeah. So some of these.
Okay, go ahead. Just let me.
Some of these places have been renamed by them. In fact, I have a friend. He's quite a popular guy. You know Terry the Rap Man? I don't know if you've heard of him.
Yeah.
You know Terry the Rap Man, right?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Terry the Rap Man is Tiv. He's from Nasarawa State. He can't go to his village right now. Do you know why?
He's been taken over.
His village was repeatedly attacked by these people, and they attacked them till it was no longer safe. And after the people left, they knocked down their houses and erected new houses. So the village as they know it no longer exists, and they have renamed the place. It's that bad in some places.
So
and then there are other places.
Don't have a village right now. Are you serious?
It doesn't have a village. And there are many places like that. Now, by the time they keep doing this for years and years and years, what do you think is going to happen? What do you think is going to happen in 50 years? How many people do you think they would have brought in? Now, they've done this in hundreds of villages. Now, multiply that, the number of people that would occupy one village, and multiply it by the number of settlements. Because in one state alone, they could have taken more than 100 villages.
So again, I ask you, before I go to Honorable Osami again, how is it possible that the president who's ruling us, being a southerner, is unaware of this? How is it possible that the heads of the security agencies are unaware of this? Is it that they are helpless, or there's an unwritten rule that these things will eventually happen? So they're helpless.
They're not.
What is going on?
They have them by the balls.
Which
I
ball?
think what's happened is by the scrotum. You don't have that, so you wouldn't know what it feels like to be held.
I don't I'm
okay. The man here can tell you that it's not a good feeling. You know what I mean? When somebody grabs you there and squeezes, you're going to do whatever he asks you to do. Now, here's the thing. I think this thing was planned systematically over decades. It didn't start today. I mean, the jihad of Uthman Danfodio goes back to 1804. We can take it back that far. And then we have the British colonials who came in and didn't dismantle the Sokoto Caliphate. They left it intact and even used them for indirect rule. Are you following me? So from that time, these things have been planned and set up. They have infiltrated every area of governance. They have their tentacles embedded deep in the fabric, in the machinery, in the clockwork that runs the country. So even if the president is a southerner, they would have him by the balls. That is what I think is going on.
Honorable Osamike, how does this make you feel, really? Let me take your reaction to what he said before we go to what you're doing in the United States for Nigeria and Nigerians.
Well, Precious, just like your viewers, it's difficult to just hear our brother on the ground talk about these issues. You know, my friend Mike Arnold, he joined your show some time ago, and if you listen to what he was saying, he echoes what our brother just said. And when you continue to hear from different sources who are not connected, you can begin to sieve what is at the base of what is happening. I am from Edo State in Nigeria. I don't know the north as much as I should. The furthest I've been is probably Kaduna. Lived in Abuja a bit, but since coming to the United States and engaged on this issue as a leader of Save Nigeria Group, it is becoming overwhelming in a sense that um, you almost feel as though we have been desensitized as a people to killings. You mentioned something that struck me. I was just thinking about it that people were driving by while
Yeah,
a fellow Nigerian was being beaten
nobody
to
said
death.
anything. You saw it in the videos. No one said anything. It was like it's normal.
That is exactly the same reason why you were in traffic today before this show. Even though more than 30 people were massacred on Sunday, people in Lagos are going about their business. Because
Yes.
for them, it is northern problem. No, we never reach Ikeja. It not concern me. It's not blocking Third Milan. Boko Haram have not reached Third Milan Bridge, so it's no news. You don't
Even
say
if they
anything.
reach Third Milan Bridge, people where they like you go say never reach there.
And they're saying that poor people for Ireland. They don't
Mainland
make
people,
an
they
make.
dey poor.
Uh-huh. This, there's a small machine that they built, and Nigerians called it "I better pass my neighbor."
Yes,
I
now that's
remember it growing up in Nigeria.
yes now.
That machine is an example of what is our problem. It's not the use Madam Fodio, it's not it's the fact that the entire population is so I don't know what it is. We can blame our politicians all we like. But the last time I checked, they are all Nigerians. Our
Yep.
leaders are from us. Governor Mufang, his own place have been attacked. I heard it's from is it Birom community or I
Mangu,
don't
Mangu,
Mangu.
he's from the Mogavul tribe,
His
the
own
Mangu.
tribe has been attacked.
Actually, they started attacking his place as soon as he became governor.
Okay. So
Can you
he
believe
knows
that?
this.
He can't do anything about it. He's helpless.
I was
Well,
with Governor.
well,
I just wanted to say that a month ago, Governor Mufang was here in Washington, D.C. And I had the opportunity to meet with him. And my question to him was because he was talking about us as Nigerians in diaspora coming to invest in Plateau, the new Plateau, talking about opportunity. And I asked him, we are hearing that Biron community and other people, Ezekiel Dachomo is doing mass burial every day. How do we invest in such a place? How do we tell our American friends to come and follow Governor Mufang home to go and he said they are doing things, they need help, but they are doing things. He has a 1,500 local vigilante. He was upselling his state as a governor in the US. I understand that, but at the same time, I saw when he showed up yesterday in an armored tank.
he
And
shouldn't have
You were
done that.
not
addressing the people who were killed, and you're in an armor. That means you self they fear for your life.
that does not inspire confidence. That does not
No, not at
inspire
all.
and to tell me that there is a police station in a place where over 30 Josites were killed and many injured, and 72 hours later, one person have not been arrested. Ladies and gentlemen, how do you guys expect us in America to explain to our Oibo friends that we live in a normal country? Because it is difficult for me. It is getting harder. I meet with Congressman Riley Moore, Chris Smith. I meet with Senator Cruz, all this leadership in Congress. We meet with them and we're trying to ask for help. But when you see this report and they ask you a question, how come there is a police precinct? We call it precinct in America. Police precinct 20 meters from an accident and one person is not arrested. 72 hours later. And the more the time elapses, the more the trail gets cold, if there is even a trail. So how do you explain that? I know we can go to history, we can go to jihad. And of course, we know they are targeting Christians. The church was attacked today. So people that our organization believe that there is a targeted attempt to wipe out the Christians, beginning from the north, now in the middle belt as the front line, and down south. Even in my home state of Edo North is already receiving attacks. People now pay
Yes.
tax to go to farm in again border. There's kidnapper. You heard about what happened in Uromi when the boys got angry. That is part of the thing because in Edo State, we are not as patient as our brothers in the Middle Belt.
I'm sorry. Your state started even being unsafe before the Kwara and Kogi state of today. I mean, the attacks in your states, it's on another level. That one, special business they use and do kidnapping. They go kidnap, kill, or kidnap.
But that's how it starts. The kidnapping for ransom is how it starts. They use these funds to get more weapons, which is why when Bayo Ononuga was saying when CSC Church was arrested that they have the numbers of these people that they will be back, and people they later released some of the survivors and they said they didn't pay ransom, only for the terrorists to say no, they got 100, how much, whatever. How do we continue like this? My question to Precious and our brother: how? I've been away from Nigeria for a while now. I do visit, but not as often as I would love to. What is the psyche of the Nigerian? How are people able to go about their business with this level of killings every day? Because it is, I can't even wrap my head around it. Because even though I grew up in Nigeria, I've also lived in America for so long that I know that even when you hear a pimp, you call 911 now, everywhere in the police. Like, you have to find and solve the problem. But in Nigeria, it's almost as though, now we are waiting, some people are waiting for President Trump or America. But what about us? Have the police in that precinct where this thing happened, have they now run after these guys, run out of bullets and they are calling for backup? Or they sit down inside police station waiting for President Trump? Where are Nigerians, a country of more than 200 million, waiting for America to come and deal with these slippers wearing illiterate lunatics who think they want to marry 72 virgins? Even we that are married here, we know how difficult it is for one wife. Not talk of 72. I cannot wrap my head around their motivations. I know they are not well, but at the same time, I saw the CDS last week on video saying that these are prodigal sons, that they are part of us. Prodigal son. So the dead people now in mortuary, what are they? The more than 11 million displaced, like he's talking about villages renamed. They are not prodigal sons. It is these killers that are your prodigal sons, CDS. You know what that means when you go to a congressional office in DC and they show you, say, look at what the chief of your defense is saying, that the terrorists are like, help me explain what is happening in Nigeria. Okay, the CDS is from, I don't know, I think it's Kogi State or if a Yoruba man. Is he also a jihadist? You can blame anybody and say, oh, because this person is from, okay, what about the CDS? A Yoruba man calling a terrorist is his own brother, prodigal son. Why are we, you hear of billions being spent rehabilitating the terrorists and reintegrating while people are in camps? Our organization, Save Nigeria Group, we try to help people in camps. In shock also. Nothing you throw there will do, because there are too many. If you carry 10,000 bags of rice, before next week you don't finish. People, it not reach. The level of displacement, a country that is not at war. Let me shock you. In Ukraine, more people are at home than in Nigeria. Ukraine is almost 5 years now they're at war. They still have people in their own homes than Nigeria that is supposedly at peace. The peace of a graveyard. So it is, even when you listen to the way I'm looking at Nigerians. I don't give up on the government. I don't tire. Nigerians. Because at the same time, people talk about Iran. America is trying to liberate the Iranians, for example. Iranians, under the brutal Ayatollah regime, came out en masse to say they need help. They kept calling Trump. They were even killing them. I'm not saying people should go and die. But I'm just saying that Nigerians cannot even leave their auditorium on Sunday to do worship on the streets. To say we are marching peacefully. Say, God, hear our cry. We don't want to be inside our big auditorium. Our brothers are dying in Lord. First of all, do they even think it's their brothers? Those Okada men where they drive, those Keke Napep where they drive past person where they beat. Does that one even think that is his brother? What if that person is even a mistaken identity? Mob violence. It could be somebody just call and say, hey, he's a Christian. What if he's not even a Christian? Where is the sanity in all this? So for us as an organization, our hope is that Nigerians will wake up. Because it seems as though there's something spiritual that has kept, I don't believe there's people say it's politics. It is not entirely politics. Because if you check election day, less than 10% of Nigerians vote. Where are the 90% that don't even get PVC? They're not interested. They are suffering under this brutal leadership and everything that is going on. But at the same time, minus politics, because I also have left politics. I used to be part of the Labour Party in the past. But I've left that and said, I'll focus on humanitarian. Let me see what I can do to make impact in the lives of Nigerians. That's our goal as a humanitarian organization. I'm no longer interested. I heard you reading up news reports, and they said they registered the only opposition on ADC. And I started chuckling when you were reading. Because 2 days ago, I told somebody on the Zoom call when we were together, I said, let's focus on helping to stop the genocide and stop the insecurity. Let's save lives. Leave politics. If I say so, 2027, I say, which 2027? Which 2027? So again, we are not quite ready for democracy. We are not matured enough for it. We are in name only. We are actually not democratic. When we got engaged in last election, trying to make sure our votes count, Mahmoud Yakubu would lie to us about all this thing. People like us, I left New York, I went to Nigeria, I campaigned, our votes will count until shock us on election day, IRF shut down. Somebody was telling me that election was even fairer than the past, that we are making progress, that there has never been a fair election. It took me a while to understand that elections have always been rigged. So let's leave the politics. What about the human costs? Do you know that on that same day we are talking about Jos, we are hearing that in Southern Kaduna, a wedding ceremony, people were killed, 13 people were killed at a wedding. I got married some 12, 15 years ago, and I can't imagine on my wedding day, people come in shouting whatever religious slogan and shooting and killing on a wedding ceremony. This is the reality of Nigeria, and this just so happens that people move on. So maybe I'll ask you, Precious, and my brother, why are people able to move on in Nigeria? People able to continue their business right now? The only reason why people in Jos are at home is because of curfew. If not curfew, market don't fool. Nobody send. Nobody send. Nobody
So
send.
I'll let LD answer you because we have a lot we're discussing. Because I mean, we cannot finish this conversation if we don't get to what INEC is trying to do to stop us from.
I think you answered that question a while ago with the whole "I passed my neighbor" analogy. That pretty much sums it up, really. And then oftentimes Nigerians would rather play the ostrich. You know, like what I said here, a lot of people know it, but very few of them will open their mouths and say it. I've had people say to me, look, stop talking about politics, or stop talking about certain subjects on your channel because you'll make enemies. So there's a lot of reasons why people just choose to look the other way, just stick their head in the sand and pretend that there's nothing going on. That's just it.
Let me tell you, Precious, very quickly. Let me tell you the risk that we face, because I deal with the US government at the highest level. The challenge we are facing now is that we have been fighting because we know Nigeria. I grew up in Nigeria, in Edo there, went to Port Harcourt, UNF for school, Abuja, NYS. So I know Nigeria. So I have been appealing to the US government to work with the Nigerian authorities, help fill the gaps they have. But that argument is now falling on its face. When you have precincts where accidents happen, the government or the police is aloof. So Riley Moore just posted on Facebook now when I was here that if the Nigerian government cannot do this, they will do it for them.
They're not. They do anything. Forget about that one. I won't even.
So my challenge. Look at my challenge.
To the US, they don't do anything. Leave that thing.
You have to vex for yourself first. Before anybody vex for US, you have to vex for yourself. Because again, now we has the day on fire. We not feel offer. We did call for our neighbor. We get bucket of water. We don't want offer. We did call our neighbor. So we have to. It's our pride. I realize that it's our problem. But beyond that, America might not be surgical. So if we solve our problems, we understand the nitty-gritty, the nuances and all that, we can actually solve it in a better way. If we let the US come and solve it, the collateral damage will not be nice. Go and ask Iranians who will call for US help.
But the point is that the US may not even help you solve any problem, because I mean, if you go by what you see recently happening and what Mike Arnold's anger has been in recent times, that's you're trying to come to terms and negotiate, or perhaps have a bilateral agreement with people who already know what they're doing and they're not stopping what they're doing.
Exactly.
I don't want to talk about that, but I don't think anybody is coming to help us. I just want to believe in one thing, that it's only us Nigerians that help ourselves. Now, talking on the reason why Nigerians are still docile amidst what's going on, there are a couple of reasons to it. From my understanding, and I'll speak from my little expertise as a communication person and as a journalist. First of all, there is paucity of communication in Nigeria. People don't have information. Don't be shocked that even people in Jos, Plateau State, don't know about this attack, because they're not. Most of them don't listen to news. They may have television and radio, but not for news. So they don't listen to news. You understand? They don't have access to information like this. They don't have access to such information. They're not, even if they're on social media, they have a niche for their social media. So before this kind of news go enter their FYP for social media, it go take. So there's paucity of information. In fact, Nigeria is still very traditional in terms of information dissemination. We still, large percentage of Nigerians see they believe in where you go carry, what did they call them? The traditional town crier, go, 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 go. You see this thing will happen. We still believe on word to word, mouth to mouth information more than the mass media information. That is just the hard truth. The vast majority of Nigerians, especially those in rural areas, and are there the population. If you think you have population in the urban areas, go to the rural areas, because we have more rural areas than we have urban areas in Nigeria. Except I am wrong. Please correct me. So the majority of these people no get information, so they know. And I'm sorry to say, see, that's one of the reasons I left mainstream media. I'm talking about this, and I am feeling so tensed and so fired that I feel like crying. Even it's beating me. I don't know why there is this deliberate attempt to gag mainstream media, that you cannot talk. You cannot talk. I mean, I hate to say this on air, but let me say it. You know, there was a young man I interviewed a few weeks ago that his life was in danger because he called that was going on in Goza community, the Goza attack and all that. He's from Goza.
Yes, I saw that.
I called a couple of colleagues of mine from mainstream media. Please give this guy a platform, interview him, hear from him. At least let those people threatening him know that. Let them know that people are now aware that you're threatening him, so that they can at least spare his life. Guess what they said? Say government no go grade. That kind of no go pick carry. Say that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Do you understand me? So that's it. So when mainstream media, are you telling me that it takes an Alex Berbery, it takes a Lockman Dumbin, it takes a McConnell, it takes one senator somewhere in the US to understand what is going on in Nigeria? Who told you that Nigerians don't know? Who told you the Nigerian journalists cannot know if they want to know? Who told you they even don't know and they don't have the information? Who told you they cannot have the investigative report if they wanted to? But unfortunately, even if they have it, on what platform are they going to play it? 90 to 99% of most media platforms are either funded fully or partially by a politician in Nigeria or politicians. So can you speak against those that are funding you? Somebody will just call, there will be interest. Somebody will just call you and say, you know what, drop that story. It drops and it dies. Like we say in the media, it is what you call the news that it is the news. Whatever you amplify is the news. What you decide to de-amplify, it's not news. So that is why you see sometimes attacks will happen and it will take government and its handlers days to respond. You know why? If the opera in the attack takes like a day or less than 42 hours or 48 hours or 24 hours to die down, then they will not respond. They'll just leave it. But if the opera goes round and there is agitation, then they will not respond like 48 hours later or more than 24 hours later. You know why they're not responding on time? Because they feel like if they respond to it, they're giving that news energy. Because they're the newsmakers. So they feel like they're giving that news. I am speaking from my place, my expertise as a journalist and somebody who's involved in the news. So why would they talk on something that they would feel energy? Meanwhile, if they feel they give energy to that conversation, it will be against them. It will look like they're not working when they know it's not their fault somehow. I don't know if you get my point. So the best thing is to play dumb. So I'm coming to, so I don't lose my chain of thought. So part of it is, again, information dissemination. People don't have information. And then secondly, we have been grossly divided along ethnic and religious lines. You see these things that are telling us about religion. Oh, it is well. Our Lord will do it for us. The different so it is it. So because we have not seen our men of God charge us up and tell us that, you know what, it is not biblical, it is not in accordance to the Quran that we do this and this and that. Because our men of God have not told us it cannot happen. Let me give you a typical example. The Nigerian religious people are still people who largely, please, in case they take my lights, you guys should continue the talk till I turn on my generator because my inverter packed up on me. Just so in case that happens. The Nigerian people, this is Nigeria. So the Nigeria, we still have an environment in Nigeria where people, religious people, do not see their religion from their own senses and by their own selves and by their own understanding. They largely see it based on what their men of God, their clerics tell them about such religion. So much so that I, as a Christian, for instance, I do not interpret a verse of the Bible based on what I think from my own understanding that Bible verse is saying. I understand it from what my papa said. Papa say like this, now so it be. So what papa says is true. And then as is an Islam, a Muslim, I will also understand the Quran or Hadith or whatever, most of those are holy books based on what a cleric have told how that it is. So because of that, now anything where the men of God tell us, now we do. You see, so we have been grossly divided along religious and ethnic lines. We see ourselves as enemies. One of my very good friends today are still Muslims. I don't have a problem with them, but I will have a problem with a Muslim who sees killing as a normal thing. I have a problem with you if you see killing. But interestingly, most of the Muslims I have as friends, of course, they have to be like me. Like they're amazed. Well, it's just that they can't even speak up. They can't even speak up as much as they should. I don't know why. And I don't want to keep questioning. It doesn't look like I'm speaking down on their religion. So you see, these are the things that have grossly divided Nigerians and amputated us. And this dismantled our ability to act even if we wanted to. Because once you begin to act and they say, oh, because not be your brother, they power and I make. Oh, because not Christian, they power, not be Muslim, they power and I make. Oh, do you understand that? So that is it.
Yeah.
So who would act?
Yeah. Can I add to what you said? Largely it boils down to illiteracy and lack of enlightenment, because even if you're not educated in the formal sense,
dangerous ones are the half literate ones. Both illiteracy and half literate people. We have a lot of half literate people in Nigeria, and they're very.
You mean average people? I can't stand average people. They're the biggest problem on the planet. Now, here's the thing. Let me give you an example of how ignorant we can be. A few days ago, I don't know if you saw this report. There was this Nollywood actor called, I think, Zubi Michaels or something like that, and he said something. He said something about the situation in Jos. He said Christians should leave Jos. Now, he was saying this because, as far as he knows, Christians are probably outsiders in Jos, not knowing that the Christians are actually the indigenous people here. You understand what I'm saying? To him, Christians are not the indigenous here, so they should leave Jos.
It's over 80% Christian.
Because he doesn't know, a lot of us don't know who is who when it comes to the ethnic fabric of what that makes up this country. We're very, very ignorant. It's just a few of us that actually go out of our way. Go and ask the average Nigerian if they can name 20 ethnic groups. You'll be surprised at how few people can do that. We know nothing about our own country. Outside the regions where we come from, we know very little. So it's very easy to divide people like that. It's very easy to deceive them. It's very easy to just, send them down the wrong path. So I get what you're saying. You're right. Absolutely correct.
All right. I will, because of time, I do need to hop on another meeting, but let me quickly touch on what we are doing on this side of the fence.
All right.
I thank you guys for
know about your advocacy and how far you're going with that advocacy and what impact you think you have made and you are likely to make. It's very important that I let you address this before I let you go. Please go ahead.
Oh, thank you very much for first having me again. It's always good to connect with folks on the ground. You live in Nigeria on a daily basis, so your view is always going to be beneficial for me to understand, because a lot has not made sense lately. But it's sad all you've said about information, lack of information. I don't quite agree entirely, because, for example, if there's a curfew in the whole state, even if you don't have phone, you ask, why can I not go out? Somebody will tell you that in
you know why? Because if you want to go, you have to take it has to take you trying to go out for your neighbor to tell you, oh, say curfew day. You understand?
I believe that there's a piece of government does control information. They learned it from people think Russia is information control. Even the US, we have information control, but I think they are underestimating what happens in places like Nigeria. The information
Oh yeah.
space is indeed. Thank God for social media. Social media now makes everybody a reporter. So that means as Agoro Kuba was going on 7:30 p.m. in Nigeria, I
It
was
was
woken up.
real
I
time.
was alerted here in America. I was more informed than majority of people in
In
Jos. And I
fact,
was like,
just before you go on, I just wanted to say that that's one of the reasons why I have this platform and I present my news in Pidgin English. It's very deliberate because a lot of people feel that conversations around government, governance, politics, and all that is a bit complex because of the language of presentation. So why I break it down and I decide to play dumb and use Pidgin English is to drive it home. Let them know, say, this is information where they shape their life. Now, waiting they control their life. So why run away from it? So if there is a way I can then I add the touch of humor and sarcasm for those who may not understand the sarcasm and humor to it. It's very deliberate to soften the conversation because people feel that these conversations are too serious. They don't like it because it's too tense and serious. No, but these are things that shape your life. And we're talking about tax reforms right now. People are crying about how much tax they will pay to government that is completely, inept and that hasn't done anything for them. So if you do not discuss these conversations, how will people know? But let me let you go ahead, please. Go ahead.
yeah, so I wanted to say that Save Nigeria Group organization here in the US is focused on we started this in 2022 just to galvanize Nigerians and gather funds every Christmas or any holiday, Salah, go and help folks back home as folks that are in America, remembering that we have people we left behind. That was the idea of this organization. It's a 501c3. By that means that we are only we're a non-profit, meaning that all we do is to help humanitarianly and also advocate. But in that effort, we've now trying to help folks back home. We encountered the IDPs. I met a group of 5,000 people in Edo State, in a bush area, just 20 minutes from Uniben main gate. And I asked, what are they doing there? I said, they are from Borno State in Edo. Say, yes.
Oh, there's an
What are you
IDP
doing
camp in
here?
the States.
There's an IDP
Seriously.
camp. About
Yes.
5,000 people are there. Yeah.
Yes. And they're from
That
Borno Kungoza. Local
yes,
government.
that is run
Yes.
by Reverend Solomon. The name of the camp is Home for the Needy Foundation, and he lived in Germany for many years. Because of this same passion, came home to set this up, and he has been doing a yeoman's job. He has trained more than 300 as graduates. They've been in that camp for more than 10 years. Goza, they are all from Goza. Many of them are in northern Cameroon. Nigerians do not know that hundreds of
Oh, they
thousands,
came back now. Those were
tens
those
of
that
thousands
came
of
back that they
Nigerians
killed.
are in northern Cameroon. You know
Yes.
what it means for your people to be in another country because they cannot go home. That's our situation.
No,
You
no,
But
no,
see,
people don't
you
know.
see,
Honorable, let me
you
quickly
see
just take you on that.
that's that thing you're talking about.
Honorable,
That's
let me
what I was
quickly take
talking
you on
about.
that. Just to let you know that a good number of those Nigerians in Cameroon on exile or in IDP camps in Cameroon were lured back by the state government, offered them 500,000 each. I mean, it's not me, it's in the news. Offered them 500,000, please come back, come back, come. And most of them were killed in just this completed Goza attack. They were killed.
Yeah.
Most of the Nigerians that were in Cameroon came back.
So there's possibly this lack of information because some people do not know what you're describing. That Nigerians are in Chad, Niger, even in Niger, Nigerians are there, camps in Benin Republic.
Nigeria has repatriated
Nigerians
some of
are
them.
all
Nigeria
over.
repatriated some recently.
Even my Canard, for example, runs a school for camps outside Abuja, very close to the power. They are there. They don't have support from anybody. We are not. Things are not normal. So what our organizations started to do since we got into this whole thing, it was like I said, we got to help. This is the priority. So we are focused on helping, but we were trying to help and discover that the thing is like a hole. Anything you put, you go inside. They come out. It's too much. So the better way to solve the problem, instead of trying to get relief for them, is to find a way to solve what displaced them in the first place. So I'm describing how we refocused on the Christian displacements and genocide in an effort to stop these perpetual IDPs, because we cannot continue to feed people and house people and do what else, the little we can. Let's find a way for them to go back home, which means whatever drove them before, let's find a way to get help from America to solve it. That's why we have had rallies. We continue to do events. We just had a major emergency rally on outside the White House on last week in DC here, and we were talking to the U.S. public. There's a bill before Congress by Riley Meir and Chris Smith, which is the Nigerian Religious Freedom and Accountability Act of 2026. That bill is calling for cutting off funding from people the U.S. government know are part of sponsors. Because these people that are attacking, they buy weapons. Some of them even have drones. I hear they have some. It's not cheap. If you go and price one bullet, for those that know about, it's not cheap. They are being funded.
Okay,
Yes,
I
some
think
of the
Nigerian
funding.
people, they count bullets for the people, then they our army. But the bullet
You know now.
free will.
I know. I've heard rumors that the police sometimes they'll tell you that if you call them, they say you get money for bullets. They not get bullets. so, so Nigeria is a real case that need to be studied, but that's for another day. That's for another day. But my organization, Save Nigerian Group USA, is obviously now building a coalition because the work is beyond what we can do as an organization. We've now created what we call the US Nigerian Civil Society Coalition. And in that coalition, American organizations and other groups, including churches and humanitarian organizations, have come together to stand and speak with one voice, asking the US government, beyond the bill that I talked about, we want the US government to help plug the gaps. The Nigerian government, the real truth is that as a Nigerian, I know this, I'm sure some of you would know, is that our problem is not just that they don't want to solve it. They don't have the capacity. The police presence in Nigeria, how many police are there when all of them are guarding big men? So there are many ungoverned spaces. Before now, there was no terrorism, so the Nigerian people did not know that many places you can do whatever you like, which the terrorists have found, which is why they attack mainly in those places where they. So when they do something now, like in Agwarukuba, which is the center of Jaws, more presence will be there. Guess what? They pull those people from other places to come to Agwarukuba, or if that's the name. After 1 week or so, they'll start going back. So they react after something happens, like a firefighter, because maybe there are fires everywhere. You just go to the big one and put water. Until they call you again, you run. You leave this on a fire. The fire never off. So what we are doing is to ask the US government to help plug the gap. Some of the deliverables, what we have achieved, is that Nigeria has been put on a list of country of particular concern because indeed, unless the person does not have a brain, Nigeria is indeed a country that is of particular concern. America has that list because they want to know countries that egregious religious violations are going on. They have Saudi Arabia, China, Afghanistan. Nigeria has now been added as a country where people's religious freedom are being violated. And some people say, why are you advocating for Nigeria to be on that list? The reason is this. If Nigeria is on that list, there are opportunities for the US government to use their leverage to mandate your government to stop the killing of Christians and also Muslims, because Muslims are also being killed. It's not just Christians, but the killers I said they are Islamists. They say they are doing a jihad. Of course, other people would deny that they are not real Muslim. I don't know the difference. I'm a Christian, but my point is nobody should be killed, whether you are Muslim or Christians. Nigerians deserve the right to go and worship whoever they choose. And in America, for example, many people don't go to church or mosque. You have that right as well. You don't have to kill somebody to believe for whatever you choose. So our fight here, or advocacy, is for Nigerians in America to come together and ask the US government to help plug the gaps in order for us to solve it ourselves, because indeed our solution lies at home. To that end, we have a rally that is coming up on June 20th. We chose the summer because Nigerians work a lot. We chose a Saturday because during the week, then everybody they do 2 shifts for US. So on Saturday, June 20th, outside the White House, we are calling on Nigerians across America to come. Also Christians and Muslims and other groups to call for help to solve the terror problem. We cannot have spaces like Gaza and the rest that is occupied by terrorists. Places, bushes, and around the Middle Belt area where the government knows their location, but they can't go there. Why do you think they can't go there? Apart from the fact that some in the government support them, there's also the fact that these people are very armed.
Okay,
And who was so we are calling for.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry to cut you, but I think that it's important to also ask a few questions concerning what you're doing, especially considering what you're doing. What are you really doing to involve Nigerians across, in other countries? like in Europe, in UK, and other countries. Yes, I do understand the need for Nigerians in America to do what they're doing, but I feel like because it's something that affects our motherland, and it's something that affects lives in Nigeria. If we, they say na cooperation, I they make rice reports. So if there's more cooperation from Nigerians in other countries, I think that it would, yield more effort. So if there is, are you doing anything to involve Nigerians in Europe to also seek for the support of the European Parliament and, the people in other countries? The reason I'm saying this is because the president was just in the United Kingdom a few days ago. I'm sure if you had a platform in the United Kingdom, perhaps there would have been a better information, because there was a video where we saw the president, naming some of the reasons why we have issues as climate change and farmer headers clash. And people are saying, excuse me, headers clash. The farmers or the farmers, the farmers of occupation or the farmers' main source of livelihood is static. It doesn't move. But the header's source of livelihood, it can move. So you cannot bring your moving or mobile source of livelihood and affect my own that is static. And then if we have problem, then I say it's a clash. It cannot be a clash. And meanwhile, you, the header, is the one who's largely armed. And I, the farmer, am mostly not armed.
Yes.
So even though some of them am too. So, so this narrative has been going around that, oh, it's a farmer header clash, oh, it's a farmer header clash, and all of that. Makes it look like most of these communities that have been run over is as a result of farmer header clash that were run over. So the reason why someone is occupying Terry the Rabman's father's land right now in Nasarawa State is because there's farmer header clash, not because there's a deliberate attempt by some people to take over his father's community. It's because
let me quickly respond.
What are you doing about it?
So on this last one, before I answer the diaspora question, on this farmer header class, I want you to, as funny as it sounds, I want you to appeal to you, don't joke with it. The New York Times just released an article attacking Riley Moore, Congressman Riley Moore of West Virginia, that he is misdiagnosing the problem.
I saw that.
It is actually farmer header class. So those parroting farmer header class in Nigeria got instructions from their American and global Reuters, AFP, New York Times. They are all using climate change and farmer header class. In the Cochran Church, if you plant cassava inside the altar, it grows very well. So that's the farm. So the otters, they came to attack that church today because of the cassava that is planted in there. And the corn, the pews are corns. If you roast corn for that pew, that's the farm now, because you have to explain to me why the church today was attacked.
And Guarukuba is a farm too, apparently.
Exactly. The 30 people that were, the 30 people were doing rice farm. The one that died, they had bags of rice harvesting.
Are you sure they were human beings or just
so if one day craze, all of us just the crazy go,
So that's the question I asked, and that's why there may be need for you to push organizations beyond the US too.
So I wanted to say on that, the reason we Save Nigerian Group has have a little bit of presence, not officially, in other countries. We've tried to even reach out, calling for other people to do what we are doing. This fight, it does not belong. It's not. I'm a Nigerian that is concerned, so my organization is fighting. I asking others to do the same. It doesn't have to be Save Nigerian Group. The challenge is that the US is loudest and most kind of the leader of the free world. So because we are in the US, everything, the box stops. UK is a former old glory. London is already Londonistan. So there's a lot going on. A lot of people blame what is happening in Nigeria to UK. You talked about how they came and left the caliphate intact. So there's a lot going on. Our folks in Europe also, they are trying to, the immigration is being cracked down. Nigerians are really afraid globally, because what you don't know is that the West have gotten tired of immigration. They want us out. When I mean us, people that are not original to the West, because they opened their doors in the past 10 years and they've been overrun by particularly Middle East. So we are the first casualty. In America today, Nigeria is on a restriction. So doctors cannot even come now. Students cannot come. And there are events like our June event where we want to bring people from Nigeria. We're having to fight just to get a visa. So things are changing globally. So why am I saying this? We would have expected, like when the president came to the UK, Nigerians will raise the issue. But what we saw was, on your mandate, we shall stand. It's the song we saw. And at the end of the day, some people said some pounds were paid and all that. But at the same time, you cannot just continue to complain. What I have decided to do, my name is Stephen Osemige, is to do what I can with the organization I have, with that's why I'm always in Washington, even if I don't live there. spending personal resources because Nigerians do not support. But that is not important. What is important to me is that I want to be able to sleep at night, that I did everything I can. And I'm doing that. We want to invite Nigerians that are watching. Do something where you are. Don't wait for Save Nigerian Group to come. It's not a company. I'm not a UBA or Zenith. I'm advocating for Nigeria. Go ahead. Do what you can. All of us come together. That's why we have even expanded into a coalition of different organizations. And Africa Arise, which is my Ghana's organization, is part of the coalition, and many other groups, to be able to speak with one voice. Because we had Prophet Issa Ebuba, I hosted him here in DC in February, and he mentioned that we need to come together. Even the Nigerian church, we've been going from church to church in the DMV here, Maryland. We went to CAC, we went to Ebenezer Catholic Church, we went to Winners. We're asking them, tell your guys in Lagos to give you instruction, because most of them they can't do anything until they get instruction from Nigeria. So we are advocating to stop killing of Christians. Our Nigerian churches are doing 2 service, 3 service here. They will pass you, drive to church, like you are mad. So thank you very much for having me. I do need to run.
I appreciate you. So let me quickly let Nigerians know. I was going to ask you how you get funded, because I'm sure it takes a lot of energy to do what you're doing. So I do not know. I may not have idea how you get funded, but let me quickly let Nigerians know that they can just check on your website in case they want to support you at www.savenigeriagroup.org/donate to contribute to whatever you do. Thank you so much for what you do. See, I don't just know, but all I want is that I'm worried. I just want the death and killings to stop, because at the point where we are right now in Nigeria is a point where it could be anybody at any time. It could be anybody at any time. I mean, Lokman here would have as well been killed on Sunday. I appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. We'll talk more.
No problem.
Take care.
Let me let you run while I focus on other issues. Thank you so much. Okay, so Lokman, I would have to play this video, a couple of videos, and I'll take your feedback then before we go straight to the conversation around the politics in Nigeria and the lack of derecognition of the ADC. But let me take this video. Is this one of the
daga baki ya bude yan Jos ku tattara kayan ku bar Jos na ruwa su fada ruwa na rantsi da Allah yan Jos kisan da zamu muku kisan da zamu yi wa yan Jos na rantsi da Allah ba za a taba yin sa ba a Najeriya na rantsi da wanda ya halicce ni yan Jos duk lokacin da muka hawo kanku insha Allah in baki ya bude mu matasa muna nan muna gangami muna hada kanmu wallahi yan Jos ba maganar ma'aikaci akan wannan harkar na rantsi da Allah yan Jos har wata Hausa kuke yi ta munafurci har wata Hausar ku kuke yi ta munafurci to na rantsi da wanda ya halicce ni yan Jos duk lokacin da muka hau kanku kun kashe mana Fulani ha kawai ba nufin tsaye ba na zanne kun kashe mana mutane sun je sallah sun dawo kun musu yankan rago yan Jos Arlan Jos na rantsi da Allah tun kafin mu hau kanku ku fada ruwa ku mutu yan Jos Plateau tun kafin mu hau kanku wallahi ku fada ruwa ku mutu yan Jos kuma wallahi ga sanarwa da duk wani inyamuri da yake arewacin Najeriya sai mun ci uwar yan Jos mu dawo kanku za ku ci kamar uban ku he kun koma kasar ku ta inyamuri kuma dukkan ku.
Oh yeah.
All right, so what was he saying here?
Okay. First of all, that guy is a nitwit. Let me just begin by saying that. Now, he said that as soon as the Ramadan is over, they were going to attack. He said the people in Jos killed Fulanis and they were going to attack as soon as the Ramadan is over. In fact, he went further to say that before we even attack you, jump in the river and drown yourselves. That's what he said. Yes. And then he also said that Igbos were going to be next and they were going to attack them too. So you see, he's driving this hatred towards everybody. It may interest you to know that Angwan Rukuba is in the city. The place where this thing happened is on the way to the airport. You understand? It's just like, okay, let me use Port Harcourt as an example. You're familiar with Port Harcourt. Okay, imagine those places like Omagua, not in the city. Something happens there, and then you go and kill people somewhere like Borikiri or Abuloma in revenge for that. That's what they did, basically. It's crazy. It's nuts. And this dude didn't even cover his face. Now, I was talking to a law enforcement.
You know if he's been held?
Well, I don't know which particular one of them was held, but the governor did mention the other day that they had arrested. His words were
the young man who made that video has been apprehended. He said that. We don't know if it's this guy because there are lots of them. Now, I was talking to another law enforcement officer yesterday who told me that they've arrested tens of them.
Yeah, but the question is not about the arrest. After the arrest, what next?
That's another question. You see, this whole thing, lights out. You see, this whole thing, there's a lot of collusion involved, like I said. And we've seen it time and time again. Sometimes when they arrest them, they let them go. I mean, we all heard the story of Kabiru Sokoto. Remember that incident during the Jonathan years? The guy who was involved with the church burning in Madala in Niger State.
Mm-hmm.
When Jonathan got really stern and called for the heads of whoever was in charge and gave them an ultimatum to fish out the person, they actually said he escaped. We all know Nigerian police now. When they hold your trouser like this, how are you going to escape? And they said the guy escaped. They have this way of holding your trouser, and you don't have nuts, Precious, so you wouldn't know. But when they hold your trouser, they pull it and they squeeze it such that it squeezes your scrotum and you can't move. The police have their tricks. If the police don't want you to escape, you're not going to escape. Anyone who thinks that's not true watches too many movies. So the excuse was that the guy escaped. And then where was he found? Borno Guest Governor's Lodge. That's where they found him. And guess who was governor at that time?
Of course, we don't know. Don't worry about that. Let's move on to the next conversation.
So there's a lot of high-level collusion going on. That's just the truth.
It's crazy. So I can't get over this video of this woman whose voice has now, she's now lost her voice. She held her phone and tell us what she was saying
I couldn't bring myself to watch this video. I'll be honest with you. I've come across it, but I
can't play it.
I couldn't bring myself to watch it. But what she was saying is that my child is not dead. His blood, that's not blood, those are tears. That's what she was saying. She was probably just trying to console herself, It's so sad.
Tears.
Yeah, that's what she was saying. She kept on repeatedly saying, my child is not dead. That's not blood, those are tears. So sad.
Okay.
And we have people whose job it is whose primary function it is to prevent such things from happening. And they're not doing a thing about it. And this thing has been going on for a long time. For over 2 decades now. It's been going on for that long. I'm having a little bit of a lighting problem here.
It's okay. Sorry, don't worry. We can talk. We can talk with you like that, irrespective. So let me quickly take you on this story. I need to let Nigerians know that INEC sent a circular that has sent everyone in panic right now. So the circular reads thus: nationwide voter revalidation exercise. So you will recall that the need for a credible voter register was discussed at the induction strategic retreat held in Lagos State in January this year. Consequently, the Commission has approved the conduct of a nationwide voter revalidation exercise. The exercise will be conducted both online and at designated centers at local government area, registration area, RA, and polling unit levels nationwide. Now, the INEC voter enrollment devices, IVEDs, will be deployed at the LGA levels and one IVED each at RA and PU levels. The staff of the Commission and NYC members will be deployed for the exercise at 2 personnel per IVED. Now, you are to commence necessary preparations, including sourcing of personnel and preparation of IVEDs. find attached the timeline of the exercise. Please
Go ahead.
accept as always the assurance of the Commission's greatest regards. Now, this particular circular from INEC has thrown almost all political parties in the sorry, especially serious opposition political parties, with many thinking that is a strategy for the government to rig the election. We can't tell how true or not that is. But before I take you in on that, let me quickly play you a reminder of what the army said about the de-radicalization process, and I take you on what people have been saying about this.
Operation Safe Corridor is not a place where you recruit people for the Nigerian army. The Nigerian army have its own set rules and procedures for recruiting people into the army. And one of the requirements is that once you have any criminal record, you can never join the Nigerian army. And I think by extension, any security agencies. Operation Safe Corridor is not a place where you reward criminality by spoon-feeding them. No. The traditional criminal justice system is running its course. Those that have been found guilty, they are being sentenced accordingly.
Looks like the video is not playing.
Jails across the country. Let me make this very clear. The issue of low risk is not what Operation Safe Corridor decides. Operation Safe Corridor has 17 ministry, departments, and agencies supporting it, and other international UN organizations and others. So amongst the entities supporting the ministry, department, and agencies supporting Operation Safe Corridor, you have the Ministry of Justice, which is responsible for screening all those that have surrendered or all those that were arrested. And in the process of the screening, they differentiate those who have no case to answer, those who were considered to, in their own way, victims also, like in those circumstances that I've highlighted the other time. So they classify those ones as low risk and hand them over to Operation Safe Corridor, because the question is, why don't just allow them to go straight back to and join the community? That will be difficult because they've already stayed in the bush. They've stayed with these criminals. Some of them, that is their first time of even witnessing somebody being killed. So the trauma and all those other bad things they have experienced makes it important that they are, administered some psychosocial therapy. Some of them are even into drugs, because we have the NDLEA also among the ministry, department, and agencies supporting Operation Safe Corridor. The NDLEA is there to ensure that those that have drug issues are weaned from their drug addiction. Then those that have traumas and all those things, we have experts from the Nigerian Correctional Center that deals with them, because they are the one responsible for the radicalization aspect. Then, to ensure that they can be productive to the society by the time they are finishing their program at the center, you have skills and vocations that they have learned.
All right, so here the army pressing is talking about, basically talking about the Operation Safe Corridor. That is the program that enables the Nigerian army reincorporate most of these criminals into the society. So basically, what did they try talking and say, some of these Boko Haram fighters, they've not been then they do them by their own will. Some of them were coaxed into it. So because of that, we get away with the use find those we know too dangerous, and they bring them back into the society. And while people may say that some of them may actually be victims of, some sort of coercion and all that, but the process of identifying them and ensuring that they're clean enough to be reincorporated into the society is a worry for a lot of Nigerians. So Nigerians are saying that, so this is Nigerian army admitting that we are bringing back criminals into our society without telling us exactly. If you say that you have given these people, if you've given them skills acquisitions, you've equipped them and all that, what are you doing to ensure that most of them are doing the skills acquisition you're giving to them, are taking up that trade or that skill that you're giving to them? What are you doing about the complaint that people have been making that some of them go back to becoming informants to our enemies, people who kill fellow Nigerians? What are you doing about even complaints within the Nigerian security apparatus, that there are people within the Nigerian security that are sympathetic to these people in such a way that some army officers say that when they are giving partners or paired with partners in war fronts, that they're afraid of being paired with some people who are sympathetic to these people. I've seen it, the Nigerian army official on air, I mean on social media, saying that his colleague almost shot him for shooting at a terrorist. Then why are you killing them like that? Stop killing them like that. Because he felt pity for them, people who are killing us. So you see the problem. So what is the Nigerian? So there's a lot, and then of course the army spokesperson here, or the person who's speaking, made it made us understand that it is normal. It is something that we should do because it's something that other countries have done before, and that it's not extraordinary. And of course, the United Nations and other organizations are aware of it. But that being said, a lot of people expected, since Christopher Musa got into power as Minister for Defense, that things may have changed. I don't know why things haven't changed. However, here is a young army officer who has now left the force. She had this to say about our dear Minister Christopher Musa. Take a listen to her.
I want to go sleep. Oh, this is 17 minutes past 11. I want to go sleep. Now my phone ring. I can't pick him. So now that my friend called, they tell me, say, yo, God, they trend though for social media, or people they verse around well, like, you know. I say, my oga, which of my oga? They say Musa. I say, Minister of Defense, what do you do? What do you make the trend where people they verse around? Say, Ruth, go check. I beg. No, me go tell you. Now I can't go check. I say, Baba, they campaign. Like you where they appoint, they gave you Minister of Defense few months ago. You never will reach 5 months where they appoint you as Minister of Defense, so you don't the campaign. See, the problem of Musa na greedy. That what they call greedy. Greedy. When person say they say you greed, like this person is very, very greedy, the greedy person. Now Musa is the definition of greediness. Like Musa, only you want chop alone. He don't care about you. Musa don't care about what they happen to Nigeria. Now he pocketing they fight for. He don't care about you. He don't really care about Nigeria. I told him, I said, if Tinubu is like, if Tinubu, like the president, behaved like you think he will appoint you as a northern, as the Minister of Defense? He has the right to appoint Yoruba person, not to happen. But he appointed you. You're not the only retired general. He appointed you, but you know what you want to use your office to help other people. You know how many people grow. You want just use, once you just stay one place, you want to occupy everywhere. That was the problem he had in the military. Only you want to chop everywhere. You know, they give contracts to anybody. Musa did my palm. But that's the way you define no go see him. He did my palm. Musa did my palm. I can define him. I know him in and out. He's my friend. You don't know me. My name is Ruto Ogunleye. He's my friend. I know him very, very well. That guy, if you let me, let me tell you, sure now they pray, now they do say, Tinubu, God will punish you. See, when Musa come, now go they pray make Tinubu come back. You know why? He go make Nigeria personal business. He go make Nigeria your own. Make Nigeria they are like. I never see anything. Musa, I'm not surprised that he's he's secure for one place or the guy. That is how greedy people behave. You dey minister, you never wish how many more they campaign. What did they campaign for? What did concern you like? Musa is a greedy person. Very greedy person. I know him. Me, I've supported him, I've helped him. Even to the extent that some of the things I did for him, his wife no go feed one. I did it with my full chest. What did I get in return? Nothing. Musa is a greedy person.
All right. So, Elle, let me take your thought. I don't know if you'd like to react to any of this before we go straight to the issue about INEC. Do you have anything to say about any of these videos I've played, or you didn't see them at all? You didn't catch any of them. I can't hear you. I think you're muted. I cannot hear you. I cannot hear you. I cannot hear you. I cannot hear you at all. So if you can't hear me, please kindly log out and come back again. I can't hear you. I can't hear you at all. I can't hear you at all. I can't hear you at all. I don't know what the problem is, but I can't hear you at all. All right. So Nigerians, going back to the secular about INEC, because I could do a lot of injustice if I don't talk about the secular about INEC. But before I get there, make I quickly tell on waiting Ganduji talk as he say in the promised presidency, he will give him Kaduna State.
Of 9 members on NPP to APC. So you can see today, as far as we are concerned, it's a day of celebration, and 2027 is assured for Mr. President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and also our executive governor, Engineer Kabir, and all our members of National Assembly and State Assembly. So it's something that we are really so happy today, and we thank them for that. And we thank Mr. President for providing an enabling environment for other political parties to see that APC has an enabling environment and APC has the climate of accommodating other members of other political parties. And we assure them of full integration into our party.
Talking about integration, with the party primaries coming very soon, do you see them kind of level playing grassroots level?
Of course, that is why we are talking of integration. That is why we are now one. We are now a compound, not a mixture. If you know chemistry, you know the difference between a compound and a mixture. We are not a mixture, we are now a compound.
Okay, thank you, sir. On the convention we had, do you think consensus is the best for the party?
Well, consensus has 2 stages. First of all, after consensus, there will be affirmation. So if there is consensus and affirmation, it's equally the same with the election, because it reduces some friction, it reduces some, I push you, you push me. It reduces some disagreements that may likely lead to anti-party in election period. So consensus is good.
Yeah, that's now waiting ABC in get to talk there. But then very quickly, going back to this issue of revalidation of INEC, and a lot of issue we don't cause. And the one way BC INEC stopped to recognize the David Mark and Aregbesola led ADC because of what's in a court order. You know, the case where BC some faction of the ADC, or some people will feel say the ADC, these people, them David Mark, them just can't take over the ADC. Those cases, them now because of their cases for court, now waiting make INEC decide say they no go recognize the leadership of Aregbesola and the rest of them again. I did not say they deregistered ADC. No, I said that INEC stopped recognizing. They removed their recognition of the David Mark and Aregbesola led ADC. That is to say that because of they talk this one because of they say the problem will be say they go on, and people are worried about this. That I remember what Femi Fani Kayode talk that ADC may not be able to field a candidate that will be validated, that will be valid. So there must be something that they know that would have made him say that ADC may not be able to field a valid candidate for 2027 election. You know, before Ingo talk that thing, there must be a reason. But here are a few things. I think Peter, Aka, and Precious, Mama P get to talk about this issue.
Joe Amopitan and the entire management team of INEC, to whom it may concern in INEC, open your ears and listen attentively. Amopitan and INEC team, if you want to allow yourself to be used as the catalyst for the Nigerian revolution, Amopitan, if you want to allow Tinubu and his desperate cohorts to use Wana as the tool and catalyst for the Nigerian revolution, Nigerians are saying, be our guest. Because you see that pressure where they put on Wana to do the wrong thing and to follow the path of illegality. Nigerians will put a greater level of pressure on you to do the right thing and to follow legality. Amopitan, allow whatever you serve to use you. Amopitan and INEC, remove your monkey hand from the pot of soup before it turns into human hand. You see this when a masquerade dance to destroy all opposition parties, it no go work with ADC. Any attempt to ensure that you disenfranchise Nigerians as a mole of the ruling party, it will be resisted completely and totally. From the day where they carry you, they sign you, Joash Amopitan, when they bring you from wherever you are to play for APC FC through INEC, we sent you a message as concerned Nigerians. We say, INEC Chairman, although the people who choose you have a goal and a purpose for why they brought you to INEC, but we told you you have an opportunity to choose. You either stand with the people and the side of the law, or you choose to do the bidding of the handful of criminals in power. Whichever part you decide to toe, we as Nigerians, we have resolved that we must stand to protect and defend our rights to free, fair, credible, and peaceful elections. Nigerians make everybody come outside because the one where they do Nepal, we carry revolution, so it not even reach this one. In the midst of all of this criminality where they go on for government, just is bleeding. We still they talk about the killings. The all progressive afflictions still they push their agenda on how to rig election by ensuring confusion everywhere and active manipulation, so that the goal be said there should be a lot of voter apathy and disenfranchisement. Since where this issue of ADC, defection into the ADC, where Kwankwaso don't come join ADC, so another politicians, in fact, even before Kwankwaso come, the battle to destroy ADC have been done tell una before, it there for court and all of that. They don't only intensify the efforts now where they see say more people are coming to join the party. They don't start all the plans. They want to do a funded protest. Say make they do David Mark, the ADC chairman must go, Aregbe Shola must go. All of that to destabilize and ensure that they do the same thing where they do. Make they use court to begin to get a faction of ADC which does not exist. And they want to pass through INEC. Since opposition leaders come out, can't release that secret and to burst the bubble of the all progressives affliction, they come out with another different strategy. Now, memo don't leak from INEC. They say they want to do nationwide voter revalidation exercise. Amopitan, ori buruku lensheu. INEC leadership, oshi lenshe. What do you mean by voter revalidation exercise, abi revitalization? Are you supposed to be doing continuous voter registration or voter revalidation so that at the end you begin to disenfranchise Nigerians? People go come out on the day where they want to come vote. They say, because you not revalidate, your person was supposed to this polling unity, no day, you don't go another one. The same thing will happen during AMAC election for FCT. Nigerians, make everybody shine our eyes. Everybody must be ready. If you know that there was to be voter revalidation, why the thing not start since last year? Why is everything about election clustered into how many months to the election? And somehow people from All Progressives Congress, the ruling party, they already know about the revalidation before every other Nigerian go know. The same way where the INEC digital register, somehow APC be know about them, start their own since last year, but other parties began to know about it while the time they passed the Electoral Act. INEC, ori buruku lenshe o. Oshilenshe, wo Amopitan, walai talai. You see this attempt at carrying out electoral banditry against Nigerians, we no go agree. Do not allow yourself, Amopitan and INEC bunch of electoral bandits, to be used to push Nigeria into chaos and anarchy. Because for 2027, the will of the people must prevail. Nigerians, we must rise up and ensure and prove that the power of the people is greater than the criminals in power. My name is Peter for Nigeria. Amopitan.
All right, so that's what Peter Aka had to say about this incident. Then Precious also had this to say.
Now that you have registered, they are not talking about new voters, so they are not talking about new people going to register. They are talking about people that have PVC. Yes. They cannot vote except they go and revalidate the PVC. So
what is the essence of the name permanent in that PVC?
No, let me ask them. I say now fight go solve Nigeria problem. Nigerians don't even know this one. The electoral law. If you read the electoral laws, if you read what Amopitan do, what Akpabio then do, Nigeria go catch fire. For them to be able to remove fraud, meaning if somebody comes with a forged certificate after election, you cannot ask questions. Yes. They remove it. For them to streamline the timeline where candidates go from one party to another party. So that if they frustrate you here, if they use government and they stay frustrated for this party, you cannot go to another party. Pack your bag, go out. Just go home. Now, voters card when people don't already get. They don't cancel every meaning the whole country now. No, we are not active. I think our fight go save Nigeria. Bet. I know say Nigerians they mumu, but there's only a limit. It go break. So now everybody will get voters card cannot vote.
Okay, all right. Okay, make us stop on here.
This one
Well,
let me
bring you
outside.
back into the studio very briefly. If you would like to chime in on this before I start taking calls. Did you hear any of the things going on, or you weren't able to see any of the videos at all? Can you hear me? Can you hear me, please? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? We can't hear you. Check if you're muted, so you help us unmute. We cannot hear you. We can't hear you. I don't know what's going on. We cannot hear you either. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. We can't hear you. I don't know why we cannot hear you, but we cannot hear you. And it's so unfortunate that we can't hear you. I don't know what's going on. We cannot hear you at all. All right, so Nigerians, let me open the phone lines. Phone lines are open 0817-029-4077. That's the number to call. 0817-029-4077. Or you click the link on the pinned post and it will bring you straight into the studio to jump in on the conversation. Or better still, just call 0817-029-4077 and you'll be able to get through to us. I've already pinned that in the comment section, so you'll be able to join us very quickly. Hello, good evening and welcome. LD, we can't hear you at all. LD, we can't hear you. I don't know what to do. We can't hear you. Hello, Laura, welcome. Go ahead, please.
He can speak on his phone, perhaps.
I don't know.
Anyway, good evening, Nigerians.
Welcome.
Precious.
Yes, please. Go ahead.
Truly, are you surprised that
I can't be surprised at all. I can't be surprised at all.
It is clear that this, I already knew they were going to do something to ADC because Tinubu has made up his mind that even if he's going to contest against anybody, it cannot be Peter Obi, which makes it very clear that the results we saw on their end in the 2023 elections, that Tinubu was beaten by landslide by Twitter. You cannot be running away from your shadows. There is no how you can. It is now so obvious to everybody that Tinubu is doing everything not to go head to head with Peter Obi, even with every institution of government in his hand. The Senate, the House of Assembly, the INEC, everything is in your hand. But Tinubu is afraid to go head to head and with Peter Obi. I know the problem that is happening because the entire country is coalescing around one party. It is clear that Nigerians have learned from what happened in 2015 that the only way to beat an incumbent party is there will be no person of significance outside a national coalition. As he has done, register, you cannot be here, you cannot be okay. Now ADC has they've shown that we're going to have a consensus candidate, and then it's going to be close to 3.5 million votes in Kano plus Tinubu, plus Peter Obi, and he's doing everything he can. Even if you let him go against a dummy candidate, the one he has chosen, put the person in one dummy party, maybe PDP, that's how he wants to run. Because why? All his life in Lagos State, he's used to running against doctored opposition, hire a party, put a candidate the way they used Jandor in the last election, run against them, and then tell us rubbish that you've won. Tinubu has never faced a valid opposition. Of course, he lost the last election woefully. That useless former president Buhari that has a strong Igbophobia saw clearly what was happening, and he knew Tinubu was rigging, and he looked the other way because, why should you have, it's not just the man's tribe, because if it was Hope Uzodinma, they will not mind, but not this credible man. Anyway, if the ADC say they are surprised, come on. No smart Nigeria, no politically savvy Nigeria is surprised at what has happened. They knew this was coming. Many of them, they are criminals. They've rigged the election. The likes of them, David Mark, they're all parts of the PDP rigging machine. They only have power and flaunt power when they are in office. When they're out of office, without incumbents, the average Nigerian politician is like an oaf. They are like loafers. But they expected this. They expected it. So they should do the needful. For me, they should wait 7 days to, 6 or 7 days to, and everybody should move to this guy's party, Serake Dixon's party. It's a newly registered party. It has no issues. They have they've only had, how long have they been in existence? 2 months or 3 months. They have only one national chairman. The party is owned by Serake Dixon. They should all move. We all know that ADC was not the final destination, that it was a decoy. But remember that before they came to the ADC, they first deceived Tinubu with
ADA. Apart from the SDA, the registration of ADA too.
They said they are replying to SDP. Tinubu went there, started throwing all of a sudden lawsuits. Someone that cannot drink Gary, all of a sudden is hiring Sam to go to Supreme Court to sue SDP. Then they went to ADC, and you saw the first ADC was going to hold a meeting, how they warned the hotel owner not to rent it. So Tinubu is beginning to look like, I don't know the words, he looks like a fool now, because, and when I say fool, I say, I'm not insulting him, but I'm saying it in a way of, like a court jester. That's what I mean. He's making foolery of himself. It is clear, everybody is seeing it, that he clearly does not want to run against Peter Obi. But not just that. It is clear that the entire political machinery, because this is not just Obi, this is Obi with the entire political machinery of what used to be former PDP. Everybody that is who, they are ganging up, and it is the incumbent versus these people. And he knows that Nigerians are not with him. He saw him and his family, they've seen what happened in Imo State. They know they've been resoundingly rejected. You saw that guy, what's his name? That is, I don't know if it's Kano State, the northerner that was on this program with Mark Ogun and Chamberlain, when he was saying that we have lost Kano. As far as Kwankwaso has gone to ADC, we have lost Kano.
Yes.
You see, somebody was, I was watching someone's interview, and the person was saying, oh, they say Tinubu is a smart politician, but he's already miscalculating, he's already messing up his own calculations. Let me give you an example of the calculations they said he messed up. In Kano State, when he was trying to get Kwankwaso and they could not meet Kwankwaso demand, someone alleged that Kwankwaso was kept waiting for a long time in Abuja. They wouldn't see him. Then they lured the sitting governor of Kano State that he should come to APC, right? Unfortunately for them, when that guy came, when Abba Yusuf came, not everybody came with him. The deputy governor did not come with him. That's number one. So when Abba Yusuf finally decamped, already it was the Kwankwasias that voted for Abba Yusuf. So
yes, of course.
By having Abba Yusuf decamp. That's one. Now, the 2023 APC candidate for the governorship election has now decamped to ADC.
Yes, the person will be the major opponent of Abba Yusuf, where they almost rigged the election for. I know. Where cause problem. And he has pledged loyalty to Kwankwaso, like complete loyalty to Kwankwaso.
So unfortunately for Tinubu, he's now shot himself in the foot, because both the opposition, the Abba Yusuf does not have any organic vote. The votes that voted for him is a lone vote from the Kwankwasia movement. And now the person he ran against, so Tinubu has lost both the people who voted for Abba Yusuf and the APC people who voted for the opposition, the APC candidate. So in every way, shape, or form, Tinubu has, any way you want to calculate it, he has lost the Kano vote. Both the APC vote and the Kwankwasia vote, he has lost it too, because the Kwankwasia vote did not move with Abba Yusuf. That's one. Number two, the person he ran against, which is the APC vote, did not move with him. And number three, the deputy did not move with him. Did not move with Abba Yusuf. So Kano is gone. And that northerner said it. That guy that was on Mark's program said, forget. He said ADC. He didn't say with Kano maybe. He didn't. Kano is the most sophisticated from the time of this former governor, Second Republic governor of Kano State. They are the most sophisticated voting states in Nigeria. If you go and look for their history from the Second Republic, you don't mess with them. They are very politically savvy. So an APC person is telling you from the north that forget it. That he said the following of Kwankwaso, obedience is not even strong. For 20 years, guys have been following Kwankwaso. So it's a cult following. Let's put that one aside. And then the guy went on to say the 19 votes from the 19 states from the north, most of the governors are camping, but their people are not necessarily following them.
No, but they are not following them. Are you telling me that the people of Plateau State just will follow their governor with what is happening?
And the election in the north is going to be very violent. So if you put there's something we know that if you are ADC right now, anything you are calculating against Tinubu, you must make it look like, because everything Tinubu is doing now, getting people to decamp and everything, is he knows it's not rigging, but he wants to give the illusion so that he'll be able to say, after all the governors have already decamped with me, this is that. He's not trying to win the election, he's trying to steal it, but at least let him give the illusion. But the ADC are also countering it, because many of them are senior brothers of rigging in PDP. Let's look at what they've done. Most of the North have refused to go with him. You saw in Bauchi State, is it yesterday or the before yesterday, where they were, I don't know if the sitting governor in Bauchi State is decamping to ADC, or rather has decamped to ADC. Tuga Yusuf has come to try and take the seat. But even in the APC primary in G State, people are doing Bamayi. These are APC people who came with their own broom to their own state primary, and they came and said Bamayi. So in many of the states in the north, even when the governor decamped, not every House Assembly member, not every deputy governor decamped along with them. Do you understand? And many of the governors decamped either because they had an ESC case or the excess money that they were being bribed with. They don't really, their political machinery did not move with them the way it happened in the south. So even in those states where you currently have APC governors, what do you want to count? Many of them have there is no guarantee that Tinubu will get those votes. The North, they are in for this guy. Because for the first time, the North are being forced to embrace an Igboman from the Southeast, because water don't pass Gary. Tinubu has shown them shaking. So they are willing to cut their nose to spite their face for the first time. That's one. Then come to the South. Tinubu knows he cannot beat Peter Obi in any Southeast state. Of course, he will rig. He's not planning to win anything. He's planning to rig. But Peter Obi wants to take five states in the South, and I think 2 or 3 states in the South. He doesn't even need to win any of the South states. He just needs to take 2 or 3 votes together with the entire Southeast and the 19 states of the North. And Tinubu is in trouble. There is no, legally, we know there's no pathway. And I'm talking of factoring rigging. If you factor rigging in, cancelling.
But just so that others can jump in on this conversation too, because people are waiting. What do you think is the way out for the ADC with these new developments? Okay.
So the only way forward for Tinubu is that he should not have any valid opposition. He chooses the PDP, puts a dummy opposition in there, runs against him, and declares himself presidency. Or there is a way out. The way out was, I was watching Sarah Dixon's interview show last week. That party has just, I don't know if they're up to 2 months old or 3 months old. That party is clean.
And did you notice that Siraki has been going with them to the north too?
Yes. I think I just want to walk up with this precious. I have a strong feeling. I have a strong sensing that the ADC knew this was coming. That's why you see all the hanky-panky they've been playing. That's why you see Atiku keep saying, oh, I'm not the campaign, I'm not doing that, I'm not stepping that. I believe they already have their consensus candidates. They already know who they've picked. They know that ADC is not their final poster. There are some stations that I call it and I listen to, and even the people in the station that are press are saying it, that all of them know that ADC is not the final poster. I have a strong feeling that Sarah Dixon's party, which unfortunately leaked through the fingers of INEC, and they did not realize that party was successfully registered. It has only had 1 chairman in its history. It's been 3 months. There's nothing to pull it down. They are doing their, I think they've done their convention, they're about to do it, because he went on TV to announce that they're about to do their national convention, and that's going to be the party they all run, because he was even saying it that everybody should come, and they should come and run in that party. So that's the party. I think INEC went too quick to do what they've just done. They were just too quick. They would have waited a week to, but fortunately for them, they've done it. It's sufficient time enough for people to camp to another party.
Thank you.
ADC will move to
This is crazy. Thank you so much, Laura. I appreciate you. All right, let me see if LD can. LD, can you hear us now?
Yes, I can hear you, madam.
What happened all along? What happened all
No,
along? What's
no.
going on?
It's the village people.
These are village people. They no go forget us. Lie. All right, so let me let you drop your thoughts, briefly on these conversations, and I take more calls. Go ahead, please.
Starting with the INEC tricksters.
Anyone you want to jump in on?
Okay. Now I saw that story. I haven't quite gotten into what the nitty gritty of the story
So
is,
basically, INEC
even though
is
I came
saying that
across it.
INEC is saying that we all have permanent voters card, which is a
PVCs. That's right.
so the PVC is no longer so PVC anymore. That is not so permanent anymore because you have to come and revalidate your permanency. I don't know, but there's a
So they
there's
removed.
a validation
No,
exercise.
they removed the
But
P. Now it's VC.
eh?
They removed the P. Now it's VC.
I don't know. I'm just joking because why will it be called permanent voters card if INEC is
Exactly.
calling
So
it
it's
to
VC
come and
now, not
revalidate?
PVC.
Exactly. So, and people are thinking that it's a way for INEC to disenfranchise a lot of voters. You understand? So
Hmm.
that it can rigging easy or whatever it is. Well, that's it.
You
That's
know,
what we're doing.
it's sad to say that, right? Nigerian politicians, Nigerian politics, the game, the way it's played is like chess. It involves a lot of strategic moves. It involves everything but the voter, especially when it comes to the ruling party, the incumbent party. They make all the moves, all the chess moves that they can muster. And the last thing they think about is please winning the hearts of the voters. Don't you ever wonder? These people are there for 4 years. You have all the time in the world to do something that would make an impact in people's lives that they would willingly support you. Don't you think of that? But
I,
no, they're not going to do
I
that.
have said
They
this.
would
I have
rather
said.
sit back and
I have,
play chess and
yes,
come
I've
up
said.
with and try to circumvent everyone.
So I've said this a couple of times here that Tinubu is the best person to win the election because he's the only one with the opportunity to show people what true leadership and change in Nigeria is like. He's got the opportunity to do that. The opposition
Yes,
doesn't have that opportunity yet. So just a simple trick of what he can do. It's just
yes,
and Nigerians are very easy to please. So
yes,
it just takes a little to change the minds of Nigerians and to make
it
them
does.
call you a messiah. But I don't know why he's not taking advantage of that because Nigerians are very gullible and very easy to govern that little things just blow our minds. So he's the easiest person to actually buy the heart of Nigerians to win the election. I don't know why they're not taking advantage of that. So you were very
Yes.
correct with that
You know,
comment.
he could actually pick just one thing, Precious. Just one thing. He doesn't have to do a lot. Just pick one thing and run with it and hit it hard and channel everything you've got towards that and you have their support. It's not that hard. But no, they would rather, circumvent everyone, treat the people like they don't matter. I don't know why they think that's the best way to do it. Maybe if we talk now, I'm just a mere mortal, and I'll be told that I don't know how power works. That's the next thing they'll say.
I see. All right, let me bring in MC to the studio. MC, good evening and welcome. Go ahead,
Yeah,
please.
hello, Precious. Good evening, and good evening
Yes,
to you
you're
guys
welcome.
and your viewers as well. Good evening. Mine is just straightforward. You understand? Regarding these, should I don't want to use. Let me use the word by the way they say it regarding what's going on and everything. The truth of the matter is, like I keep saying that Nigeria do not have leaders yet. They don't have government. They don't have people that are ready to serve the country. They don't. So because when Nigeria do, we have the strongest institutions in place. You see, like these people, like the people killing people now, doing all this nonsense all around. These people, I don't think there's any saving grace for them. There's any pathway to to even save themselves anymore. Because like people, when people commit crime, what do? You let the law take its full course. Justice needs to be served and everything. So in the sense that that's why I keep using the word that the younger ones that are coming up now, we need to now focus on these younger ones and keep teaching them, like continue to we need to start teaching those younger ones now, because these ones are gone. I don't think there's any redemption for them anymore. I don't think that's the older ones that are committing this atrocity now. I don't think there's any redemption for them anymore. So we now need to focus on the younger ones. Focus on the younger ones and start teaching them, so those younger ones do not go the same path these older ones have taken already. So, like, let me put it this way now. Like, say, you see, when all this atrocities happens now, the government does nothing. That tells you that the government themselves is complicit in it, because criminals are not bigger than the government. The criminals are not bigger than the government. The government can penetrate anywhere, even the domains of the criminals. If the government wants to, they can go there and take them out. So, but the government are not doing it. That tells you that the government are in it as well. They are complicit. It speaks. Everything is out there. So that is why we now come down again. That how will the people now get involved and do what is right? Is by coming out, speaking out, and put the right people that can set and put the right leaders, people that can set the country on the right direction, on the right path, that can reset this country, reset that country, and the country go on the right path. I believe that's the way. That's the way. That is the reason why we all are all speaking out, trying to see how the right thing can be done and drive away these criminals that have hijacked this country, that have hijacked that country, and drive all of them out and let the proper people that can read the rule of law and read rule of law, justice to prevail. And without that, we are not going anywhere, because and massive sanitization needs to take place when it comes to intention of the people. We need to reorientate these people, the people of they need to reorientate them as well. That this whole thing, because the Nigerians have been so docile, orientate them to start demanding for what belongs to them, that in future nobody can come out again and take them for a ride or try to want to take what belongs to them.
All right, thank you.
That's it. Thank you. That's
thank you
yeah.
so much. I appreciate you.
No problem. Yeah.
So let me see who's here. Tiwai Danjuma, good evening and welcome. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Precious. How you doing?
Can I say I'm fine? I'm not fine, but what do? I have to pretend like I am.
Nigeria is the case. Well, I think the storms are gathering. Let me greet you first. Good evening and good evening, viewers, and our guest. I think you can clearly see that the APC is jittery. In spite of all their attempts to emasculate the position, in spite of all they have done, they still feel that they don't have it in the bag. So they have continued not only tinkering with the constitution, but also they are, you can see it, you look underneath, you can see that INEC is doing what it's doing at the prompting, possibly, of the ruling party. After all, he has been ingratiated with the land in Abuja. We know that.
So we heard, we don't know if it's true. It's gossip.
Well, it's in the news. Nobody denied it. So, I mean, if it was a lie, he would deny it. AMU, or whatever it's called, for short.
Is it? You say, sorry, make I take this call. I need to distract myself from whatever you call. Hello, good evening and welcome.
Hi, this is 110%.
110% love. How are you? It's been a long time. Go ahead, please.
Okay, I still make I support what the last caller just said.
Okay.
The advocates of Nigeria, you understand, should use this election to change the narrative. these politicians.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I think we'll reach that time where the entire Nigerians will come out and will drive these politicians from out of Nigeria. Big time. Like show them like that. If you take me for granted, right? This was gonna happen.
Okay. Okay.
Without INEC, because guess what? This was going on. People just wake up. Alright? Go like this. They violate the law. You understand?
They violate law. They violate law.
They violate everybody's rights. You understand? How you come and tell to go register? Alright?
They say may just revalidate your registration now.
Which kind of validation is that? Which kind? Why is this one? Why you validate?
I am no vex now. Now wait till make you the vex like that. Just take a easy now.
That's because the government don't take care of the people. And look at how many people will don't die. This someone who God will be like joy. Will they call themselves our president?
No. You speak about a president with respect, sir, please.
I'm sorry about that.
Thank you.
When they took us up, when they secretly killed, they use military, they use everything when they get in their position, they take out our people. And they say, our people are. But the people that get killed is not they are Nigerians like that. All right? And as a Nigerian, as a fellow citizen, I have the right to even express myself. So, guessing nobody needs to happen like this motherfucker.
Brother, I know you curse word, I beg. I beg in the name of God now. No use swear word now. No vex too much.
You understand? And use this opportunity to talk to the entire Nigeria. You understand? The politicians don't play it. Use this opportunity. We could teach these people lesson of their life. You understand?
Thank you. Hey, thank you. See why? Let's come back to what you were saying. It's in a
No, that man. I know the people pronounce his name. That's why I shortened his name to Amo. So I know it, my Yoruba is not very good. So that man where they there. You can see why they moved the election forward. It is beginning to look like it was an orchestrated plan. Yes, so that when they tinker with all the things that they are doing, it will be difficult for opposition parties to meet up with the time, whether for their primaries, whether for court case. For instance, like the court case now that you have in ADC. Now, the judge can deliberately delay the trial to such a point where it will now be almost impossible for ADC to field a candidate or to field candidates because there's a time frame for all those things. Now, their first attempt to take away the ADC leadership failed because the judge refused to grant the petitioner's ex parte motion, their prayer. He insisted that the other party must be heard. So when that didn't work, they began to lobby INEC to say, okay, now for ADC cannot go to court now to say, listen, we want the court to interpret what the status quo, what that word means. What does it mean by status quo? So it's going to take a long time before that case is tried, before you even come back to the substantive issue in point. So ADC doesn't have time. That's one. And so it's a carefully crafted everything that they have done, from persuading and intimidating all the parties, all the governors, and all those to move over to APC, was couched in such a way that they have a majority, so they can tinker with the constitution, and then they can do all the kinds of things that we are seeing. So it was a process that was thought through, planned. But the sad thing is that when your house is burning, you are fixated on an election. People are dying every day, day in and day out. and nobody is saying anything. Those of them that have been very loquacious, talking, if it's Obi that speaks, you see them talk. When he goes to toilet, they have been silent. They are not talking over all these mass killings. They are not visiting. You can even see the army, even though they are trying to clean up their tracks now. Say army chief coming to say that these guys are our brothers. Now they are coming back now to clean up the mess and so on. Because people have said, how can you say that people who are killing the other people, massacring them, are your brothers when you have already said that these people are not Nigerians? Now they are suddenly become your brothers. And so you can't kill them. You can't touch them. You won't give you serious enough arms. You won't take care, welfare of them. The vote, the defense vote for the Nigerian army is less than 1% of our budget. Less than 1% for defense. And then defense comprises not just the army, comprises all the other, military and paramilitary and so on and so forth. So by the time they split it, what the army gets is very insignificant. And that's a time when you are fighting war. So you don't prioritize defense. You don't see it. You don't see the security of the country as an issue. That is shameful. But you can spend a lot of money to go and lobby and give people and do all kinds of things. You can spend gargantuan amount wasting for traveling, for ESA code and so on and so forth. But the basic issues that concern Nigeria is not important to you. So APC is not interested. The leadership is not interested about Nigeria. Is interested in staying in office, in capturing office, and in ensuring that people are cowed and pauperized and silenced. And so we are gradually crafting and going towards what you call dictatorship, authoritarianism, where nobody can question. The press cannot, you muzzle the press, you muzzle opposition, you muzzle speech. They can't do anything. And then you run to this country and that country and that country, so that they can give you a leeway, because that's the tactics. So they won't come against you, pretend as if you are working with them. So that you can, but you see, the roof is going to fall upon them. Because what they have done now, you can see people now moving from APC to either ADC or PDP or LP. It has never happened before. So, and I told you that there's going to be an implosion. You begin to see signs of it. No matter how much money you spend to quench opposition, the amount of implosion that's going to come from APC is going to be such that money cannot. Because there are people who are going to be so bitter. The likes of El-Rufai, people who are like Gahuna, people are so bitter that you can't buy them with money. So what I see, and this is my prognostication, is that you are going to get to a situation where it's going to now be APC and opposition and Nigerians, and they cannot stand that. This plan that they have lit a fire that is going to consume them. And I also want to say that people who are saying that the international community cannot do anything, America cannot do anything, I think they're joking, because they have seen what is happening.
Oga, just calm down. Nothing they happened there. Good evening and welcome, sir. Not vex, sir. Make I take this call. Good evening and welcome. Sir?
Your last statement just now.
What's your talk? What's your name now?
Precious, I can't hear you. I can't see what's happening.
Between 30 to 30 something, 35,000 Iranians, Nigerian government. If the foreign intervention come, if they ongoing right there now, the people for Iran, they sit down their house.
You go help me talk quicker because
Yes, make I just I go go very fast now to draw my attention to that.
Thank
so
you.
What I want just talk now say that same thing when they go on for Iran, so that our attitude, our behavior, the world now global village now.
Of course.
These our bad behavior, anyhow talk. We dey see say and we dey tell you, we dey see the country where you dey now, so that place where that place na country. That is our country where they keep people like you go see we go dey behave talk anyhow, they behave as if na sports and na people that they talk here. So when you reach to the talk anyhow, they trivialize issues, they nonchalant. Then we go dey expect somebody from America or from the West, somebody won't risk his life, give people when not be serious about their life. So, what I want just talk now, say, the destiny of Nigerians, I dey very sure, foreign intervention is sure, but it depends on the willingness of the people. Make I round up by saying this. When 2022 or 2023, when the Ukraine war started, I remember I said our former president for year there. The first thing I say, oh, okay, maybe they carry Zelensky with the family. They don't want fight. They don't want, maybe they carry them come out. What did the leader do? And what did the Ukrainians do? They stood their ground. That kind of bravery, that kind of behavior of the Ukrainians is needed from Nigerians right now. This is our anyhow talking, trivializing issue. They say everything are comedy, and they don't turn the place to turn that country into a cemetery. Basically, that is what it is. They keep people up and down. Then, as they do election now, some they use the issue they play, carry rice come, do this one. Then small time. They won't make me feel like how they take Panadol for people headache. Because let's get serious for once as a people. I know that the intervention is coming. Then we get role to play for inside that intervention. Not anything they put for ground, but they trivialize and today you actually bad. Sorry for my language. Go they play with everything.
All right, thank you,
That's
sir.
my contribution.
Thank you very much. I get to end this as quick as possible. So, TY, do you have something else to say? Let me bring in my guest to give his parting shots to you have something to say? Okay, I think it's busy. All right, TY, let me let you wrap up very quickly. So, how we go see this the end? Well, Laura don't suggest say we feel likely see a movement to the Sereke Dixon political party, but for how long will we continue to run rather than face the situation the way it be and call a spade a spade? How long will we continue to run helter skelter? That's my question where everybody don't get answer to. But Becca, let you talk. If you can, just help me in a minute or so because my internet is about.
Okay, I don't think people are going to move to another party. I don't think that the men that you have in ADC will just let this go. No, they're going to fight. They have the means. They're going to fight like mad.
Fight for candidate that they would
They are going to fight the system, and if it means bringing the system down, they will do that. That's why I said that these people have lit a fire that they will not be able to extinguish. Lastly, I don't think that Nigerians are docile and not doing things. You just had a guest who has told you what he's doing abroad in his own way. I don't think that Nigerians are docile. Maybe the mass of the people, who don't really understand the issues, who they can easily give bread and all that, and maybe
now that mass of the people gonna be the conversation. That mass gonna because now those people now need to understand.
But you are seeing a shift of people who have called control. I mean, who have called followership. And I think, this will be my last word. I think that APC has just started something that is going to consume it. Let us watch and see. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, Nigerians, that's the size of our package tonight. LD, let me let you give a parting word. Do you have a final word? Senator could not let you hear me again. Do you have a final word, El?
let you hear me. Do you have a final word now?
Well, Nigeria is, Nigeria doesn't just have a bag of tricks. They have a boatload of tricks, a trailer load of tricks. And what makes this country interesting is just when you think you've seen it all, you wake up and you see another trick that you've never seen before. I know I shouldn't be laughing because sometimes it's not stuff that's really funny, but I mean, that's just my 2 cents. I mean, it's crazy that you can see that they're actually trying to railroad the election even before we get there. They're trying to prepare a path where they have no opposition. It's funny. Why would you want to do that? What kind of person does that? I always describe Nigerian elections as a football match where before the whistle even goes, one team has been awarded 3 goals, right? And then anytime you touch any of them, you get a red card. And in 30 minutes, maybe you have like 3 players sent off. It's crazy. But like TY said, I think they're gonna fight it, and they just might have the fight of their lives on their hands. So let's wait and see how this soap opera plays out, because that's what it is really. It's a soap opera.
As long as it's not
Thank
Z
you.
word.
As long as it's not the words, it's the
Thank you so much.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate you. Good
Welcome,
night.
Precious.
I appreciate you. Good night.
Thank you very much. Good night.
I mean, you got what's that your YouTube handle again? You have what's the YouTube handle?
LD all day. ELDEEALLDAY. LD all day.
I'll be all day on YouTube, guys. You're not gonna watch it on YouTube. He drops some word here and there, and some of the people are there. So you guys go follow him. I beg. I beg you. If I follow him for no reason, even if you don't like this guy,
Even if you don't like this stuff,
kindly subscribe. Thank you. All right, Nigerians, that's the size of our package tonight. I'd like to say a big thank you to everyone who's joined us. It's always a pleasure to have you here and to discuss everything we get to do with our country. But we'll continue to talk for the growth and development of our nation. And if you never subscribe to this platform, please make sure you subscribe, like, and share this post, and follow us like your village people. I bet like now. It doesn't take fear. Fear, not you want how much of a gallon or per liter. Like now, it's just your hand. Kindly like and share and subscribe if you haven't done so. I love you guys, stupidly. See you tomorrow evening with Dr. Kaj. God willing, protect your mental health, because he who worries about Nigerian nation runs the way he used to worry another day. Good night and God bless you. Bye.